Hello everybody and welcome to Whilton Mill and welcome to GamesAid 2023, a fantastic karting event that is all in the aim of charity. It's wonderful to be here in the fantastic British sunshine that we've got here for today's event, and we've got a 2-hour karting race coming up for you this afternoon. We've got many bright and colourful teams to look at as well and plenty of action lined up. I'm going to be your host for the day, Chaz Draycott, and hopefully I'll bring a bit of a smile to your day as well, as the weather has definitely not brought a smile to ours. We've got a lot to look at, a lot to talk about today as well. The drivers are just going out for practice right now. They're going to be basically going around for about 20 minutes now before getting fueled up at the end of the day. What we're going to do though is we're going to head straight into the paddock and we're going to speak to a lot of the drivers and teams and see what they've got to say for themselves. We're just literally going to jump in and do this ad hoc and just see what they think of the day and what they're going to be getting up to so far. Here's our first victim. Hello Sunshine, what's your name?
Rich Keane.
And what team are you part of today, Rich?
Curve Games.
And are you looking forward to this?
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it all year.
Yeah.
We came third last year, which was brilliant. So we haven't got any expectations. Have a good race. It's starting to rain. It's going to be great.
It's going to spice it up a little bit, is it?
Yeah, it's going to be carnage. It's going to be brilliant. Yeah.
That's what we want. Nice one. Cheers. Enjoy your day, yeah? So there you go. Rich, our first victim of the day. We do have a lot of important brands to thank as well for today. We've got EA Sports here, Great Ape Games and Tanglewood Games as well. Three of the key people, key groups, of course, companies that are here supporting this event and a part of the action. But as you'll see, look, if you look down the entire pit wall, there is a great array of all these different coloured T-shirts that will basically be the colours that denote the teams over the course of the day. Certainly makes my job easier as well as a commentator to know exactly what you're looking at in terms of what colours, what drivers and so on will be associated with what. Unfortunately, on my wonderful notepad, I don't have the teams and everything at the moment, but they're inside in the commentary box. We're using the briefing room here at Whilton Mill today as the commentary box, but hopefully as the stream goes on, me and James, our wonderful cameraman, will be taking a bit of a wander outside and just trying to lighten the mood a bit, especially with all the rain, because it's getting harder and harder at the moment as all the drivers are out. There's a few of them on circuit now that have actually just had a bit of a spin as well, so getting used to the conditions is such a challenge, but I suppose that's just part of the fun, isn't it? There's a big array of different drivers that have got different levels of experience for an event like this as well. There's drivers that have brought their own kit, you know the ones, they're always the ones that are dead serious, bringing their own helmets and their own overalls to events like this. And there's others that are brand new to all this. We'll jump in and have a chat with some of these guys. Who wants an interview first? Go on, what's your name, Sunshine?
Hi, I'm Pablo.
Nice to meet you, Pablo. Is this your first karting event? Have you done anything like this before?
I mean, I've driven go-karting, but never a race like this. That's quite big.
And what team are you a part of today?
I'm part of Lucid Games, and well, with the white shirts.
Well, I was going to say they might not be white by the end of it though, with leaning on the carts and so on.
As well, it's going to get quite slippery.
You'll definitely win the wet t-shirt contest, you lot. But are you hoping that the weather gets better, or are you excited by the fact that the rain might spice it up even more?
I mean, it's always nice to drift around, although obviously we'll see if it goes well if we crash, but I don't know. I'm excited, yeah.
What do you make of the circuit so far? Have you done any laps so far today? Because I know I was just explaining to the wonderful people at home that there's a different sort of spread of talent in the field. There's drivers that you've seen them as much as I have, that they've brought their own kit, they've got their own rim protectors and everything, flipping out. He's taking it seriously. It's an OMP one as well. It's very expensive. That's a hell of a moustache and all, isn't it? But there's a fantastic array, like I say. Is it something that you have a lot of experience in, or is it a little bit and, well, this is almost brand new?
Yeah, the mostly thing we have done is some, like, in the company we've gone go-karting like once and twice, but I've never been in this race. I've never gone in the race in here, so it's going to be a discovery time. One
of the stories that we want to paint over the course of the day is that between some of the companies and the brands that are here, there's a little bit of rivalry, isn't there? Do you know much about that?
I mean, I don't know much personally because I haven't been working too long in my company, but I guess there might be. I don't know, maybe some of the others can say a bit more.
We'll have to see how it goes on. Thanks for joining us though, cheers.
Okay, thank you.
There we go then. Fantastic stuff. There is a lot of people to speak to though, and to be honest, this is going to be my day. I'm going to be walking around with a microphone, shoving a microphone in people's faces. I absolutely love it. It's a great laugh. But that's what this event is all about. It's all about having a good time, a good vibe, and of course donating as well. There is going to be a link just up yonder. There's a QR code actually on your screens that you can scan and then obviously donate to during the day. I do have the link written down here, but when you hear someone read a link out loud, it's not very pretty, is it? Basically, if you go to Tiltify and look for GamesAid, then you will be able to find it there. It's at alphalive/GamesAid-2023 for those that do want me to read it out. And we'll obviously be checking the goal, which is going to be up there on your screen as well over the course of the day. That little blue bar is going to fill up as we get closer and closer. I'll also give you an example later on of how to donate as well. I'll do it on my own phone a little bit later on, and we'll look at how to get around doing that. So there's plenty to look at. There's more drivers now doing driver swaps. That's one of the main things today, is that a lot of these teams have, well, they've got 4 drivers in all teams. They have to do 3 driver swaps over the course of the 2-hour race. So everybody's basically going to be doing 30-minute stints, get the first driver out, have a pit stop, second driver in, and so on. And then it just means that one of the drivers will have to be the one that finishes the race and does that final stint. There's usually a bit of strategy involved in who starts the race as well, and I imagine that we're going to see a lot of the experienced drivers out first in the karts. We're going to grab another interview though, and I've been pointed to this gentleman here for an interview. Excuse me, sir.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
I've been told that you were up for an interview.
Sure.
What's your name, please?
Chris Wood, Tanglewood Games.
Nice to meet you, Chris. And how's your day going so far? Enjoying yourself?
Brilliant, yeah. As long as it doesn't start pouring down in the next 5 minutes, I'm happy.
No one's doing a rain dance by the look of it, so I think we'll be all right. What are your expectations for the race?
We're just here to have fun. Yeah. We support GamesAid. We love the charity, so that's what we're here for. We finished 6th last year. I'm not holding out any hopes with there being semi-finals and finals this year. I think it's a bit more serious. Yeah. We got through the semi-final, but only just. So we'll see. But 6th would be great. Yeah. If we could beat 6th, that would be fantastic. Yeah. Rodrigo's our best driver.
Yeah. Is that so? Is it? You are definitely the best driver of the team?
Well, that's what they've been saying, so I guess it must be true then.
What do you make of Whilton Mill as a circuit? Have you enjoyed the track so far?
Yeah, it's definitely a great circuit. The track is very tight, a lot of corners. You need to brake a lot, and you need to be careful not to spin out. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to try to do. Try not to spin out, and yeah, hopefully that will help something. And yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah.
Good stuff. Well, I hope it goes well for you. Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks. Have a good day. Thank you.
Lovely. Right then, it is still spitting though, I can tell you. It's not the best of conditions right now, but that's always when it's a bit dangerous for drivers and teams. Not dangerous as such, that's maybe a bit of a negative word to use for something like this, but you know, in terms of the conditions developing over the course of a day, it's not like a sudden downpour has come out of the blue, out of nowhere, and it's just a complete sheet of water across the circuit. It's more like a gradual build-up of water as the event goes on, so you get those greasy, slippery conditions that can be a big challenge. I'm being told that we can actually speak to this gentleman as well here. Excuse me, sir, in your wonderful tie-dyed shirt and balaclava. Hi. How are you doing? You enjoying your day so far? What's your name, actually? Sorry,
Ruben. From D3T, yeah. We're a little worried. It's a bit wet out there.
Absolutely. It's
people spinning out. Yeah.
Have you all guys been one of the ones spinning out at the moment, or you're all right?
Yep, first corner.
Well, it's easy to do around here at Whilton Mill, though. It's a tricky track, isn't it?
I've not been around it before myself, but I'll let you know after my race how it goes. Yeah.
What are your thoughts in terms of the whole event so far, though? The vibe of it all, it's quite a positive place to be, despite the British weather, isn't it?
It's been really fun. Obviously, we were up in the North Heat. That was a really good day out. It's good to be doing karting on company time. And all for a good cause, obviously, so yeah.
Yeah, that's the main thing. It's all for a good cause, and it's great to have so many people out here. So we'll leave you to it and wish you the best for your day.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. And absolutely, he is right. So there's been a sort of northern heat and a southern heat as well that's all led to this and become part of the final. There's even a dinosaur here. There's a dinosaur on stream. Hello, love. There's even a baby dinosaur. What's your name, please?
Hello, Kirsty.
And Kirsty, what's this little fella's name?
Do you know, we haven't named him yet today. He's our new mascot for the day. What should we call him, Tom?
I don't know.
Chaz.
Apparently, well, that's my name. He's just trying to get my name on the stream even more. What are your expectations for the day, though? It looks like everyone's in a good vibe already.
It is absolutely fantastic vibe here. It's going to be a bit wet, I think, but you know, we're all here for a great cause. So click that link in the description or wherever it is. Give us a boost.
I think the QR code's up here somewhere. But yeah, have you done any karting before or anything like this?
Oh, only years and years ago. So.
I'll definitely fingers crossed for today.
Hopefully we won't race to extinction.
I like that, you see. Well on brand. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. We'll catch up with you later and see how it's going.
Cheers. Bye.
Smashing. Right, my wonderful friend Ryan over here in the high vis that's meant to be behind the camera and not on camera has been pointing to people and telling me that this gentleman wants to chat with us. He's definitely got the best beard in the paddock. Hello, sunshine. What's your name?
Sean Quinn.
Nice to meet you, Sean. My name's Chaz. And, well, first off, what a great event to be a part of. So many people here supporting a great cause. Everyone's smiling despite the weather.
Oh yeah, no, it's a phenomenal cause like GamesAid. All the charities they support, the work they do is phenomenal. You know, the stuff they've been doing, like with the men in the Ven, kind of collecting things and doing distribution to charity. They've had a great year, and this event really kind of culminates, you know, the kind of the spirit of the industry, the spirit of what they do. You know, games and companies from all up and down the country coming together to compete together. You know, friendly, but also kind of raise awareness for some really important causes.
Yeah, there's a lot of things all sort of barreled into one, but in a great way. You know, it all goes so smoothly. Speaking of smoothly, though, how's the driving been for you guys so far? Enjoying it?
Well, Tom's been out.
Yeah, so I've been out first. It is quite greasy, so we've got to lay off the acceleration a little bit. But yeah, it's all good fun.
Well, it's one of those circuits, isn't it? There's fast sections to it, there's slow, tight, twisty sections. You've really got to have your wits about you, haven't you?
100%, yeah. There's definitely different aggression levels out there today.
Well, that's it. I've been speaking to a few of the other teams as well. They've all said a similar thing, that there's a bit of a spread in the talent. You know, there's people that have done karting before. We were poking fun at the gentleman's OMP rib protector earlier on that costs a few bob. But then there's people that have never done any karting before. There was somebody in the briefing that hadn't done a single lap in a kart. And, you know, but it's great to do that because there's people of all experience levels.
Exactly, yeah. It gives an opportunity, as I said, for everyone to come together, everyone enjoy this kind of sport together. The competition between the studios is fierce but friendly, and yeah, it's just a great event, really.
Well, it's fantastic to speak to you, gents. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one. Lovely stuff. So, we've made our way gradually down here now. In a few moments' time, we'll probably head back into what is the briefing room, which is going to be our commentary box for the day, and we'll see whether we can get potentially dry, because my paper's already starting to get all creased and curly. But we've got another gentleman here, Ryan says, apparently. We'll see. He's in a bright orange IV, so we'll see if we can trust him. Hello.
Hiya.
Who's up for having a chat with me then? Yeah, what's your name, mate?
I'm Luke, I'm from Frontier.
Nice to meet you, Luke. How are you enjoying the day so far, despite the weather? It's all right?
It's a bit slippery out there, but we'll be all right. It's fun, yeah.
And the question that everyone's getting asked at the moment, what sort of experience do you have with karting, and how long have you done it for? And
Middling. I'd say light to none. But it's all right, yeah, it's good. Good fun.
And what are your expectations for the race, or your hopes in terms of a position?
We'll be top 10. We were third in the qualifier, so yeah, our expectations are top 10. Let's see.
Has there been a lot of build-up to something like this? Has there been any, can't think of how to say it in a broadcastable way, any talk behind the scenes, any build-up?
Well, we've got a strategy. We've been planning it out, working it out, yeah. We'll figure it out.
Nobody sort of...
Not too hype, though. Let's not get too excited. Let's see. Expectations, you know, got to manage them.
Well, it certainly looks like everyone's having a good time either way, and you know, with it all being for a great cause, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Good cause, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all good cause.
Well, best of luck, boys. Hope it goes well. Well, keep an eye out for the green shirts. Although the one thing that makes life difficult for me today is there's about 19 different shades of green, isn't there? You're the proper green, yeah? All right, I'll stick with that. Yeah. What green?
Kelly green.
Kelly green. All right.
It's called Planet Zoo green.
Yeah.
It's what? Sorry.
Planet Zoo green. That's what that is.
See, they know what to say when they're on camera. Cheers, boys. Have a good one, yeah? Enjoy. So, as I've said, there is literally like 19 different shades of green today, but still, it's great entertainment, isn't it? And it's going to keep me on my toes throughout the day. We've got the best sunglasses in the paddock. Hello, what's your name?
I'm Ben Thomas. I'm from Pixel Toys, a Leamington Spa studio. You might know us from games like Warhammer Battle Sister and Drop Dead VR games. So, but we're working on something now I can't divulge.
You in marketing by any chance? Because that was very well said.
I'm in QA, but I kind of thought, what am I going to say if the camera comes to me? So, so yeah, I was preparing. Yeah.
Well, at least you've got it planned out, because I certainly don't. What's your expectations for the race in terms of a finishing position or a result? Anything on your mind?
If we can keep it on the track in this weather, I think we can probably do pretty well, because we did all right in the qualifier. We were up in the top 10. And yeah, I mean, we've got some fast guys on our team as well. So we've been chatting about strategy and stuff. So we've kind of got like a few things in the back pocket. So hopefully we're going to be, you know, a contender. So yeah, we'll see.
Some of the guys have mentioned a little bit of rivalry between studios and companies. Is there anything that sort of sticks in the back of your head regarding that?
Well, there's always quality at the top. They're always, you see them practicing. It's like, oh, they've been at the track before. They've been at the track 2 hours earlier than everyone else have they? So you're kind of looking at it, but I don't think we've really got anything on them. But you know, we can hope.
So. Well, best of luck, mate. Hope it goes well. Thanks for talking to us.
Cool, no worries. Yeah.
Smashing. Absolutely smashing. I'm told that the gentleman in the hat would like a chat with us. That's all that Ryan said to me. Hello, sir. What is your name, please?
My name's Nikhil. I'm from GamesAid.
Great to meet you, mate. Great to meet you. How are you enjoying your day so far? It's a good vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, awesome. We thought it was going to be sunny today, but you know, it's Britain, isn't it? So it's great to see a whole bunch of people come out. You know, at GamesAid we've been doing this sort of go-karting thing for years and years, and it's great to come back again and yeah, just here to have a good time.
Well, that's it. It's all about getting people together and just, you know, it's the whole industry coming together, isn't it? Rather than just like one or two companies. There's a hell of a lot of you guys out here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And part of what makes this one so special is meeting people from the north, you know, from all over England, which is super handy because, you know, from London, GamesAid, we do meet a lot of people from other studios, but it's, you know, within the city, really.
Yeah. Well, it's great to have you here, and obviously weather is probably a bit of a talking point at the moment. Do you think it'll change the race much, or do you think either way it's going to be a similar result to what people are maybe expecting?
Yeah, well, with the rain you can always expect a bit of excitement and unexpected issues for people. You know, you could go as fast as you want, but if you make one mistake, then there'll be hell to pay.
Well, that's it. One of the key things is it's an endurance race as such with a lot of drivers, but only 2 hours instead of like a 6 or an 8 hour race like you'd see. It's certainly not the longest time in the world to get the job done, is it?
No, not at all. But as game developers, we're used to sitting in our chairs for 8 hours. We're just not used to moving those chairs around the track at full speed. So it's a really good challenge for us. We don't get to do it often enough, so I'm really excited.
Well, it's great to speak to you, mate. Thank you very much for joining us. Cheers.
Appreciate it. See ya.
Lovely stuff. Right then, so we've got a big group of people around this end actually. I'll see whether we can jump in. Sorry if it's a bit loud though, because we can't really hear much even trackside. It's very, very noisy here. Would anybody like to have a chat on camera? That was the definite look of no. That was a side eye. Who wants to jump in? Do all of you. What are your names then, gents?
Nathan.
Jono. Sorry, didn't hear the question.
What's your name, sunshine?
Oh, Jens. Tom. Alex.
There you go. Right, we'll see you later. No, I'm joking. Are you all enjoying your day so far then? Everyone having a good laugh with it?
Yeah. It's greasy out there, but it's good fun. Makes it more interesting.
And what are you all like in terms of experience of karting before? Is anyone a pro? Anyone done this a lot, or all rookies?
Car driver over here. Car driver, seasoned.
Well, I don't know about seasoned, but we've got a motor cyclist here as well, so...
2 less wheels, I'll go quicker.
Yeah, you can't fall off a cart unless you're doing something seriously wrong, can you?
No, but you can flip those, can't you? Yeah.
Hopefully not today.
Hopefully not today, no. Try and clean racing.
What have you all made of the venue and the circuit then? Is it a place you enjoy to come? It's a great place, isn't it, really?
Yeah. No, the track's wicked. Just had a blast. It's really good fun. Enjoying it.
And the karts themselves, I mean, on the surface, they don't always look as quick as they sound or feel when you're in them, because they certainly catch you out, don't they?
They do, they really do. They go much, much faster than you think they are going to go. And then you're whipping along at, who knows what speed. Yeah.
And what are your expectations position-wise for the race today? Have you got any specific goals, a top 5, a top 10?
I think we're aim for the middle. At least I am. But we're going for the win, of course. But I'm going to be happy if we end up in the middle of the pack.
The goal is to finish with smiles on our face. Have a good day. Yeah.
I like that. We'll go with that for everybody. Well, thank you very much, gents. Enjoy your day. Practice has just finished. So what I'm going to do now is potentially jump inside in a few minutes. We've got another interview to jump in on. These guys are having a good time. Hello. How are we doing? All good, yeah? What are your names, please, gents?
My name's Jack. I'm Ben.
And I'm Will. Smashing to meet you. Practice is just finished. How do you reckon you're getting on? Is there anywhere that anyone keeping an eye on timing for you or anything?
We're just here to have fun, basically. Here to have fun, yeah.
Midfield, you know, we're not going to be troubling the semi-professionals that are here, but you know, we want to do well. It is competitive, so yeah.
Well, one of the things I was pointing out before was the difference between some drivers that have never done this before and those that have got their own rib protectors with them.
Bag. I mean, it's pretty dangerous on the corners when we've got complete amateurs on the course against us semi-pros at Trailer Farm and Keyword Studios. But you know, we'll try our best to go around them as they're spinning out. That's smack talk.
And that's trailer farm without a space in the middle, isn't it?
Space in the middle, yeah, absolutely.
We saw Ben earlier on. Thanks very much, guys. Thank you. As you'll see now, though, practice has just finished at this moment in time, and there's a couple of carts that are all on the back straight now. They're going to line up and basically refuel them at the moment, and then they're all going to get them to go out for the race and obviously crack on from that point on. So this is the sort of interval now between the two sessions. Practice done. They're going to get all the drivers that have finished that practice session in the carts to then be the driver that starts the race. So they've obviously had to be even strategic about the fact that they've got drivers doing the different stints over the course of today. There's 4 drivers per team. They'll have 3 pit stops minimum that they have to do, and obviously with 2 hours to do, it's going to be quite a long race for them. I mean, I'm sure you've all done a bit of rental karting before, or even just gone to a little circuit here and there, maybe an indoor track, and you'll know that even after 15 minutes, the grip you've got to have on the wheel from your hands, it can be very intense, especially at a high speed like this as well. We've got this gentleman who's just got his lid off. You've just been out there in practice, have you?
Yeah, but I wish I hadn't.
Why not?
Because yellow flags everywhere, so you just can't really get a quick lap in, to be honest, but that's about it. Yeah, that's the only reason I'm not too happy about it.
Well, it certainly makes it a bit more of a challenge for the race then, because then you've not had the time to prepare as such.
Yeah, I suppose. Just imagine if we'd practiced.
Well, I suppose it's part of the fun, though, isn't it? I mean, everyone's here to have a good time, but there's still a bit of competition behind it, isn't there?
It's one of those things, right? So they always go, "Oh, it's for charity. You know, not too competitive." Everyone goes, "Yeah, it's competitive. Yeah, it's competitive." So that's it's that. Well, I mean, that's how we interpret it anyway. You know, we really wanted to come down here and get like some laps in before. But it's there. You know, this is kind of next to kind of Birmingham way, and we're kind of near Leeds, so yeah, distance really.
Even a longer drive down than me. I'm up near Crewe in Cheshire, so that's yeah, it's about 2 hours for me, but even longer for you lot. But in terms of the strategy of having the 4 drivers over the course of the race, is there any sort of analysis that you guys do on who's the quickest, who you have in the cart and when, or is it just a case of throw whoever in at the time?
We have a strategy for who we're sending out at what time, for sure, but. Why would I tell you?
That is a very good question. That is a very good question. You could tell us the exact opposite order and then just throw it as a bit of a surprise to everybody.
Our plan is to drive really, really slow, and just let everyone overtake us, and then come last. That's our plan.
I like that. I'll keep an eye out for that. Although it's one of, again, 9 shades of green. There's like so many different shades of green for me to keep my eye on as a commentator, isn't there? I've got a lot to think about over the course of the day, but still, it's a good cause, good event, isn't it?
Well, I'm colourblind, so look at all the T-shirts going around going, that could be my guy, that could be my... Who knows?
This team's a darker shade of grey than the other one, yeah?
A little bit, yeah.
There's a certain name that we could bring up there, but we're not going to do that. I'm going to walk off now. But thank you very much, mate.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Okay, so as you can see now, all the drivers are being briefed on the infield just there. You can see all the different colours. You can see the 27 shades of green that I've mentioned. But all of those drivers that are out there now are going to be the ones that will be starting the race for their respective teams. So they've got the initial charge from the start line, from the beginning of the race, where the field will be at its most packed, and it'll be a big challenge for them because the field is going to be really, really close together. And as you all know, when it comes to endurance races, it's going to be certainly probably the most difficult part of the race, because when you have the sort of end of the race and there's a bit more fatigue affecting the drivers, that's when you'll often get the driver that did the first stint in last, so maybe they won't be as tired. But still, everybody now making their way back over here by the look of it. They're going to get the carts all fueled up and so on, and they're all walking back across the circuit. And we're going to have an interview. Hello, darling, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm so glad it's going well, and everyone seems to be enjoying themselves, even though it is greasy. That's what I heard on the track.
It's British summer, isn't it? I mean, it was absolutely baking hot last week. I'm kind of glad it's not that hot now, though, because it'd be horrible, wouldn't it? What was your name, sorry?
Lily.
Lily,
Yeah,
lovely to meet you.
I'm from GamesAid, by the way. We organise this. It might be useful to say those things. Yeah, I'm from the charity who's organised this event. We're a games industry charity. We put on events for the gaming industry, and they raise money, and the money goes to charities that they nominate every year. So the go-karting is one of our events, and everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. We've had 2 semi-finals before this, and they were quite heated as well. So it'll be exciting to see what happens now and who's going to reign champions this year. Yeah.
Well, have you not considered getting in a kart yourself and giving it a go?
Well, I did race in the northern one and came last, so I didn't qualify for my own event, which is fine. Yes, I'm not racing this time. Maybe next time I'll qualify. Yeah.
You never know. Well, trust me, coming from a commentator, it's easier to stand on the sidelines and just watch all them lot get out in the rain and get miserable when that doesn't go to plan for them.
Yeah. I'm all right this time. not racing, but they seem to be great. Everyone's wearing their t-shirts, which is great, and hopefully we'll have a nice race.
And as an organisation, what's the build-up like for an event like this? Obviously, you've been talking to a lot of the teams and the drivers. They're all excited for it, and they're just having fun, and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, no, the best thing is about having fun, and it also gives all of the developers a break. I feel like games developers need this kind of break. Yeah. The excitement has been buzzing. A lot of them have got releases coming soon, so something like this is great to blow off steam and just have a day away from their seats and at their computers. Yeah. So it's been months in the running doing this, so I'm very excited. They should be excited.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your day. Hope it all goes well. We'll try and catch up with you a bit later on.
All right. Thank you.
Lovely stuff. Right, so as you see, everybody's now jumping back down towards the pit lane. The karts are going to get refueled in the middle of the circuit. Obviously, the drivers have to be out of the karts for that, but the starting drivers are now over there. All the rest of the teams are going to have, I believe, one final briefing here just to make sure that they've got everything all planned out, and you can see again all the wonderful different colours of all the teams in their large shirts, let's say, with all of the brands on. Of course, EA Sports, Great Ape Games and Tanglewood Games as well. But now the briefing will get underway one more time with the lovely Chris, who's stood at the front and giving everybody direction. So I'm going to keep my volume down. Okay, so Chris is just going to do the briefing now then. He's just giving everybody the final reminders regarding driver changes and other elements of the race, because obviously this isn't just a sprint race. It's not a one-off run for 2 hours where it's just one driver all the way through. They have to think about the elements where they jump into the pit lane, they get drivers in, get drivers out. It's not something that everybody's done before either. So at the end of the day, there's so much to think about and so much that they need to be briefed on to make sure everybody can do it safely and everybody can do it cleanly, and in a way, obviously, that doesn't lose them time either when it comes to the race. What we're going to do, though, in a moment is just jump into our wonderful commentary box here for the day, which is our briefing room. Just outside, we've got this fantastic array of trophies as well, which is going to be given out to our drivers in their individual positions. And you can see the fantastic GamesAid Go-Karting Championship trophy in the middle as well, with the wonderful little EA Sports ribbons on it. A great array of stuff. Certainly very pretty indeed. I do like things that are shiny. But it's just a wonderful incentive for them, even if you just have that little trophy at home. It's just great to have, isn't it? Because you've been a part of such a massive event like this and brought everybody together, and if you can come away a winner, why not? This is going to be the commentary box for the day, though, everybody. We're going to hop inside. And as you see, there you are. We've got that weird Inception effect now where it's just going to show screen after screen after screen. But this is where I'm going to be commentating from today. So we're going to drop the microphone itself. James is going to put his camera down when his shoulder stops aching, I should say. And we're going to be commentating literally from this audio mixer here. And that is going to be me for the day. We do have the 2 headsets over the course of the day as well, so we're going to be able to bring people in and I can have a chat with them as the stream goes on, whether that be drivers, whether that be just people from some of the gaming companies themselves, even that might not be racing, and personnel at the circuit too. So I can see everybody's going now back over towards the fencing to spectate the race and keep an eye on what's going on, when all the refueling will be done very, very soon. So they should actually get the race underway in, I believe we're going to get going in the next sort of 5-10 minutes, I reckon. I hope so anyway, because maybe the rain itself will hold off by then. We need to look, though, in the top left corner of our stream. Well, if you're looking at me, it'll be up yonder. But still, £195 from that £1,000 goal at the moment. If you get onto Tiltify, you can just look for GamesAid if you just search for an organisation on there, and you can donate. It literally takes minutes. I'll be donating live on air a little bit later on as well, just to show you how easy that is while the race is going on. Anything you can give will be massively appreciated, but as long as we hit that £1,000 goal today, it would be fantastic. There is a QR code up that side as well, which you can scan to then obviously go straight to the link and donate from there. So I'm going to pop the microphone down, pop on the headset, and we can get going. Oh yeah, James has reminded me I need to mute the microphone. Sorry, James. But thank you, darling. So, I'm going to be commentating from in here today. This is going to be my office for the day. We have live timing. We've got all the different colours of the teams on here as well. And I'm also going to be on the tannoy outside, so people at the circuit can hear me as well. Can everyone outside give me a wave? Not that they all know where I am, actually, to be fair. They might not know where I am over the course of the day. I can see drivers are getting back in their karts now, though, so we're going to get this race underway rather soon. Does everything stand all right, Stuart? So thank you to those of you that have donated so far. When it comes to the live stream, you'll see the donations in the top right of your screen. We can see that the top donation at the moment was Lizzie B donating £50 to the cause, and we're already at an almost 20% completion rate, let's call it, for that £1,000 goal over the course of today. It's great to have so many of you with us. There's a lot of you, I've been told, watching from your offices all around the country as well, which is lovely to hear. And we obviously hope you're having a wonderful day of it so far. So you can see the drivers all lining up now, getting ready to go. As far as I know, it's going to be a rolling start. So what they'll be doing is moving around the second part of the circuit, down the back straight into the final sector. They've got a left-hander to go through, then a trio of right-handers, which will bring them down the start-finish straight, and then they will go straight into racing pace. By the look of the practice results, it was Quali A that were the fastest team in kart number 23, ahead of Lucid A, kart number 34, and then Quali B as well. We were speaking to one of the drivers before that was mentioning that Quali are going to be the ones to beat here, and with both of their teams in the top three, it's certainly looking good for them at the moment. I'm unsure of which A and B is in terms of the colours, but we'll find out as the day goes on. We've got one of the teams in a colour known as Ecru, which is just an off-white, basically. Looks like the T-shirt's been stuck in the wash with a few other things. And then the faded denim blue as well, which I will probably get confused with blue dusk and light charcoal over the course of the day, according to the colour chart we've got. But still, it's wonderful to have such an identification, or a form of identification for all these teams. I can see that we've got the first kart on the grid just out of the window, actually, and I can tell you that it is the Ecru colour, definitely, for Quali A on pole position, and then Lucid A, which is in the blue dusk colour, alongside them on the front row. But as you see on the live stream, we've got them all still lined up. They're going to be told one by one in which order to head round to the grid. And I was expecting a rolling start, but there you go. You can see the grid there actually forming up. Fourth place is Curve. Now that is literally just yellow. That is bright yellow. You can see the Curve kart, let's call it, from a long way away. Sumo in red as well in fifth position. Then Team Hutch in sixth place, kart number 4. And then the Space Ape team in kart number 1. They're going to start in 7th position. Space Ape will be racing in sage green. And then in 8th place, we're going to have the number 11 kart, which is the Frontier team. Frontier Development in Kelly green. There you go then, the kart's still now being told to head around the circuit towards the start-finish straight. We've now exceeded the £200 mark in terms of our goal. We've raised £225 at the moment. We've had Sim1 and Oliver donating from Ripstone recently in the top right of your screen, and we've had an anonymous donation at £10 we're very grateful for. Lizzie at Furious B is the top donator at the moment with £50, so thank you very much, Lizzie, and thank you everybody that has donated so far, and I'm sure between us we can all hit that £1,000 goal before the end of the race. It's going to be a 2-hour race here at Whilton Mill for GamesAid 2023. Thanks again to EA Sports, Great Ape Games and Tanglewood Games. You'll see their logos cycling through on the right-hand side of your screen as this goes on, for supporting the fantastic event. And GamesAid don't just put on events like this either. They have comedy nights and gala nights, I've been told as well. The next comedy night is coming up in Liverpool on the 16th of November, and they also have a gala night in London on the 19th of October as well. GamesAid itself actually does have a stand at the EGX convention as well, which is at the Excel Centre in London. That's on October the 12th, running through to October the 15th. There's also a lot of other industry events that they do throughout the year, and they also run bake-off style events as well, which, to be fair, if you like cakes and games, why not? That'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? What a great day that'd be. I can see a lot of the drivers and personnel from each team all revved up and ready to go on the, what we're going to call the pit wall here, the wooden fence just outside the briefing room where I'm going to be commentating from. And they're all getting hyped up now, taking pictures of their teammates and the karts lining up on the grid, and there you can see them. You will have to bear with me with some of the colours over the course of the day. The easiest one so far is Curve in kart number 8, starting in 4th position in the bright yellow. I believe that's Furious B at the back of the order there in Mango. Furious B actually in 19th place in kart number 13. Hopefully not unlucky for some. Behind them is kart number 2, CG Hero. CG Hero racing in dark orange, isn't that just brown, for this one. And then we've got B Different A and B Different B. The B Different A kart is starting in 11th place, kart number 31, and B Different B is starting in kart number 3, down in 21st place. It's a very colourful array of helmets and overalls all the time in karting, but here, this is certainly a lot easier to tell who is who from these different colours that we'll have. Kart number 19 is the closest to us there, which is Great Ape. And that is the tie-dye blue and green. And then the kart that's just formed up at the back there, I believe, is Ripstone in the light grey colour. So final checks will take place now. We've had another £10 donation as well. We've now reached £235 at the moment, so again, thank you everybody. I'm sure we will very quickly reach that £1,000 goal. We just wait now to see what the situation is, and it looks like for Curve there was a slight issue there. The driver sort of holding their hands up as if to say, what? You can see the red lights now coming on at the front. You can see the 2-hour timer. As it seems, the driver from Ripstone in kart number 6 has got out of the kart at the back of the pack. I think it's just the engine is stalled or something there. They're needing to get out so they can get it restarted, make sure it's all running okay. This is one of the most nerve-wracking times, especially with a standing start, actually, for the drivers. They have to sit on the grid and wait and wait and wait. It's an easy way to build up the nerves. And I think they're going to swap the karts out, actually. I think another one has just been brought out of the pit lane there to replace the number 6 machine of Ripstone. And they're now going to inherit kart number 33 by the look of it. That shows you how bumpy those curbs are, doesn't it? See though team members watching on with a great view here at Whilton Mill as well. You can get very close to the edge of the circuit the entire time. It's one of the best things about karting is the accessibility to the track itself and how close you can get to the racing action without being actually on the circuit. Interesting first couple of corners here at Whilton Mill as well. For those of you that are unfamiliar with it, they've got a left-hand kink, as you can see there, not long after the start-finish line. and then a long sweeping right-hander all the way up to what's known as Christmas Corner, which is a hairpin at the top. And they are underway. The lights go out and the 2-hour race here at GamesAid 2023 begins. And straight into the lead. Quali A hold on to it into the first couple of corners, but you can see the understeer in the opening corners. There's contact already and 2 karts around. I think one of them was the Kelly Green machine of Frontier Development. They were a little bit further up towards the order at the top end in 8th position. And already you can see, look how slippery it is at the top up there at Christmas Corner, trying to catch which kart number that is. I think that was the number 15, the Misty Pink of Pixel Toys. And, well, there is a lot of karts already around on the exit of Christmas Corner, some stranded on the grass. I can see that Curver in there as well in the yellow shirt. There's even another spin on the exit, so definitely the conditions are tough here. There's more contact down at the bottom hairpin as well. Chaos at the start. That's the number 28 machine that's gone around in all of that, which is Tanglewood, and they certainly got tangled up in that one down at the hairpin. And you can see that these karts easily spin up the rear wheels on the wet and slippery grass here at Whilton Mill. Quali A still lead the way from Lucid, and then Curve, Quali B now in 4th position. Apparently Curve's still up there in 3rd place, but haven't completed the 2nd sector yet, so we'll wait and see. And there is a spin already by the number, which number was that? Was that the 28 machine again? I believe it was, wasn't it? But you can see just how easy it is. These karts aren't the most powerful things in the world, but it's very easy to spin up the rears, and it's going to take time for the drivers to get used to how easily they can over-rotate. There is the kart from Curve, the yellow T-shirt there in kart number 8, dropping down the order on the timing screen at the moment, but trying to make up places initially. So first lap out of the way, and in terms of the order so far, it's Quali A, their driver leading by some margin, 3 seconds over Lucid. Electric Square A in 3rd position, another 5.9 seconds back. So a bit of a spread at the top end of the order. And then some great battles going on here through the middle of the field. There's one of the Be Different karts, which is in the burgundy colour. So all the teams, if you hadn't caught on by now, are all in different coloured shirts. And that is the easiest way for me to identify who they are without seeing the kart numbers live on screen. We've hit £275 already, I'm told. Thank you very much to our recent donators. You can see this is the latter section of the circuit that they're coming through now, down the back straight towards the next left-hander. There's an overtaking manoeuvre going on there as one of the karts goes around the outside and cuts in front very nicely before the final hairpin. You can see a lot more confidence now, though, even after the first couple of laps. That was the number 19 machine, Great Ape, getting overtaken there by Pixel Toys in the number 15 as they now head across the start-finish line down toward turns 1 and 2. That was for 8th and 9th place. The kart now in front of them is Shark Mob in number 18. Pixel Toys trying to look down the inside and up towards Christmas Corner. It looks like they're going to get moved on. There's somebody off on the inside there. I think that may have been one of the Quali karts, maybe Quali B in the faded denim colour. Look at the number 16 flying through there, actually, trying to make a move down the inside. Great stuff there from Sumo in the red colour. In a very, very solid battle there. And I can hear a cheer out the window for some sort of contact and a spin potentially on the exit of the hairpin. That's the thing in these karts. They can really be on the edge of grip when they float around this circuit a lot. And, oh, it seems like the number 32 is beached on the curb there. Number 32 machine is Electric Square B. And the back end was definitely beached. And look at the confidence there down the inside. I think that was the number 11 machine of Frontier. Their driver is absolutely flying at the moment, certainly looking confident. The Great Ape team were dropping back slightly there, losing a position down the start-finish straight, but it's all go. Plenty of shuffling around. Let's not forget there were a number of karts off in the opening lap, so many of them are now regaining positions in the early stages. Oh, there's somebody on the apex. Oh, that is the number 32 of Electric Square B. I couldn't figure out where they'd gone off. I thought it was on the infield, but it turns out that it was way up there at Christmas Corner at the top of the circuit. And I believe they'll cover that with yellow flags, and Marshall will try and help them out. We've got side-by-side here. I think this is the Pixel Toys kart flying at the moment, and then fighting with them. Just in there is Furious B. That's the number 13 machine in there as well with them. And then they've got the Frontier development team behind them in Kelly Green. So of all the greens that we've got, I believe there's 5 different shades. We've got Sage Green, Pistachio Green, Kelly Green, Bottle Green and Moss Green. So I'll try not to just refer to them as green over the course of the day. It's definitely green flag racing at the moment, though, as we continue under full speed. We've already passed the £300 mark in terms of donations as well. Thank you, everybody that is donating. You can see the yellow flags there. The drivers have been told to put their hands up just to say that they have seen the yellow flag and they are obeying it. No overtaking under yellow flags when they get to that part of the circuit. It seems like some of them may be not seeing it. They're being told there to calm down slightly and just chill out before they get up to Christmas corner. Some great battling going on there in the mid-pack. One of the key things about karting that's so difficult to get used to is the fact that you don't have mirrors. You don't have a way of seeing who's behind you and who's trying to send it up the inside. It's very, very easy to just turn into a corner not expecting any contact and suddenly get hit out of nowhere because you haven't realised that the driver behind is trying to make a move. But we've got this good battle in the middle of the pack here. This is for 5th position. We've got Pixel Toys ahead of Furious B, Frontier, Shark Mob, and then the Trailer Farm. This quintet making their way around the final corner now. Lovely run by the look of it from Furious B in the mango colour. We've then got people already at the circuit watching the live stream on their phones as well, as if they can't already hear me over the tannoy. You can see the Furious B machine flying up the inside there of kart number 2, which is CG Hero, down the inside into Christmas corner. The CG Hero driver gets a great run on the exit, loses out though in the long run. He's just been put offline slightly there through the exit of the corner, and then the Frontier development team go through as well. So some great shuffling around there just inside the top 10. You can see there's a car off on the inside of the circuit there, just on the end of Sector 1. The sector line is just where that red box is. That's the first sort of timing marker. And they've got going again, which is good. Looking at the lap times at the moment, the fastest lap of the race has actually been done by kart number 1, which is Lucid A actually, completing the fastest lap of the race now, a 1:02.137. Before that, it was a 1:04.6. So the pace definitely with the Lucid team at the moment. They're in the blue dusk colour in kart 34 there on the left-hand side of your screen. You could just see the timing tower for a second to show you the order. You can see plenty of drivers and personnel from all the teams outside just discussing what's going on with the race at the moment. The Space Ape team certainly cheering on their driver in the Sage Green, we're going to call it. It's Quali A leading Lucid A at the moment by 10 seconds. But if Lucid carry on the pace they've been going at, they'll certainly catch them up before too long. This is the Curve versus Shark Mob battle. Curve in the yellow shirt, Shark Mob in the black shirt. Although I'm told that's bottle green actually, sorry, it's very dark green. You can see now, look, the Curve driver just trying to set it up for a move, but looking down the inside, you've got to be very careful doing that because, like I just mentioned, the driver in front of you might not know, as it seems like there's been an issue for Curve. The kart's come to a stop. The kart has suddenly cut out on them. That's kart number 8. And it has gone to pot very, very suddenly there. Ripstone have changed to kart 33. There's kart number 32, which is Electric Square B. Getting going again. Back onto the circuit. But yeah, the number 8 machine has packed in by the look of it down the start-finish straight. You literally saw the driver looking down at the left-hand side as if to say, what's gone on there? Maybe running over the curb slightly. Ironic that I mentioned it and said curve, though. Well, big change there in the pack because Curve were absolutely flying. But that's the thing. It's not a very long race at all, so it's really, really easy to overdo it in these initial stages. There's the number 4 machine of Team Hutch in the middle there, the bright pink helmet flying through. You can see now the drivers trying not to hit that curb on the left-hand side out of the final corner. It's very easy to do that and overdo it over these curbs. But we are 10 minutes into the race so far, 120 minutes total this race. Obviously the 2 hours with 4 drivers per team, so you can expect at least 3 pit stops per team. We'll see whether we can give you coverage of said pit stops a little bit later. It's flying up towards Christmas Corner there. There seemed like there was an overtaking manoeuvre on. To try and catch which kart number that is. I think it's the number 27 machine of Electric Square A. So their first driver putting in a great effort there to make another place past Grandad Digital. But at the moment, it's Quali A, Lucid A, Pixel Toys, Furious B, and CG Hero, your top 5. Then we have Shark Mob, Quali B, Great Ape Hutch, and Trailer Farm completing the top 10. I can see my cameraman James running up and down very, very quickly. The number 34 machine comes into the pits. That's Lucid A. Already coming into the pit lane. I'm not quite sure why that is. It doesn't seem like they've had a penalty or anything. We've got a marshal running on to the circuit. Lucid A making a driver change early on already. Not quite sure why at this moment in time, but it's an interesting strategy all the same. That's 10 minutes done, and that is a driver being helped back onto the circuit. I think that may be Grandad Digital as they drop down. Yes, you can see on the timing screen on the left-hand side there that they are dropping down the order. There's a new fastest lap of the race by the kart in 12th position, which is Space Ape, a 101.355. I think based on the pace we've got in these early stages, we may have drivers going under the 1 minute mark by the end of the race. But Quali A now have a 14-second lead at the front of this pack. And that is going to feel very, very comfortable indeed. It's great to see out the window, actually. You can tell there's a difference in the drivers that are just enjoying themselves and just vibing, as we say, out of here. And then there's the teams and the drivers that are taking it very seriously and really look focused and are discussing things in great depth. Thank you again, those of you that have donated so far. We've surpassed the £300 mark, now going up to £320 for the potential £1,000 goal. I'm pretty sure that, considering we're not even 15 minutes into the race and we've hit £320, we could definitely go past that. Another fastest lap there, though, by Space Ape. 1 minute, 0.288. So they need to take less than 0.3 of a second off, and they will have a sub 1 minute time. Who is going to be the first team to do that? We'll have to keep our eyes out for that one. I'm going to make notes of that as it goes on. You can see now everybody getting in a bit more of a groove at this stage. Getting used to the circuit, getting used to conditions. And some battles going on here. The number 24 machine of Grandad Digital now after recovering from their earlier spin. I believe the kart behind them on the road, though, is actually not somebody from the front end of the pack. I think that might be someone either a lap down or even a lap ahead of them. It could be the Shark Mob machine, number 18. And I've been joined on commentary by one of the drivers from Lucid. Hello, Sunshine. Oh, sorry. Say again.
How are we doing?
I'm very good, thank you. What was your name, please, sir?
Tom.
Nice to meet you, Tom. Lucid making a driver change very early on in the race. Was that strategic or?
Yeah, we've only got 3 drivers today. The 4th had to pull out. So because of the mandatory 3 changes, we have to do it. So I decided, you know what, I'll go up first because I had the shortest practice stint.
Yeah.
And I'll finish the race too.
Fair play. So getting it out of the way nice and early.
Get it out of the way nice and early. Get the wet weather stuff out of the way first. Yeah.
And what was it like in the opening laps? Because it looks a bit chaotic further back.
It was, yeah. As you probably would have seen, a span on the parade lap, which is embarrassing, but you know, it happens. But yeah, it was really treacherous for the first lap or two, and then I was just saying to your friend, then it just all of a sudden clicked and then dry.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, the pace that the guys have got now, I mean, the first few lap times were, 108s, 110s, and now we're close to getting a sub 1 minute lap time. I mean, Space Ape have done a 1 minute 0.2. It's definitely going to happen before long, isn't it, as it dries out?
I think so. As the fuel starts to wear down and the carts get lighter and we get more comfortable with them, yeah, for sure.
You certainly sound like you know what you're on about. Is this something you've done before?
1 or 2 times, yeah.
Well, it's fantastic stuff, isn't it, to watch? I mean, it's just great to have so many people together all at once. And with a longer race like this and such a spread in talent, there's always manoeuvres and always constant battles going on, isn't there?
There always is, yeah. There's a difference in talent on the track, as you can see. But even the disparity between them, it's still very close racing further down the grid.
Well, and you've always got somebody to race that way as well, haven't you?
Exactly that, right, yeah. So even if you are leading, there's always back markers to overtake.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, whoever's in the white shirt is a very good racer.
Yeah,
struggling to keep up.
Quali A driver in number 23 flying at the moment. That lead has come down slightly. The Pixel Toys guys and Furious B also flying as well, ironically as well. But I think their teammates. I mean, to be fair, you guys were rapid at the beginning. You had a very quick first stint. So are you all as quick? Are you all
I think we're all quite similar. Yeah. So like I said, we got the two teams, and we thought let's put our quick guys on Team A, and obviously the other quick guys on Team B. But yeah, no, we seem to be doing quite well, both teams.
Well, I imagine, despite how short your stint was, it certainly sent a message to the other teams when on the competitive side.
It's all for charity, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not competitive at all. No. Everybody's just here to have a good time. There's no competition whatsoever.
That's it. On the track's different. But yeah, I just thought, let's do as best we can if we can only do our best. So let's give it all.
Absolutely. You can only do what you can do. And at the end of the day, it is still great fun to watch. And I imagine being part of as well.
It really is, yeah. It's a great experience. And thank you to everyone who's put it on.
Well, it's certainly going well so far for you, mate. Thank you very much for joining me.
Much
appreciated, and we'll maybe see how you guys get on a little bit later if you come back in.
No, we'll be in. Cheers.
Cheers. Lovely stuff then. So one of the Lucid A drivers jumping out very quickly on in this race, having a very short stint, but they are only down to the 3 drivers today, so fingers crossed that for them it still goes just as well, despite having 1 driver less than a bunch of the other teams. There is one of the Great Ape drivers for the tie-dye team, so we've got a couple of tie-dye shirts out there as well. There's a tie-dye black shirt and then a tie-dye blue and green shirt, and that is the D3T team and the Great Ape team as well. But our race leaders at the moment, Quali A, absolutely flying at this moment in time. This is the 2nd place driver right now, Pixel Toys, and the 2 similar-ish colours. We've got Ecru and Misty Pink as the 2 colours that are leading the way at the moment. Furious B in the mango colour, easier to spot, I'd say, in 3rd position at this moment in time. Then it's Quali B, Space Ape in cart number 1, Shark Mob in cart number 18, then CG Hero, Electric Square, Great Ape in cart number 19, and then quite fittingly actually, carts 10 and 11 are in 10th and 11th place at the moment, Trailer Farm and Frontier. Not sure if anybody else is managing a feat like that down the order. It doesn't look like it at this moment in time, but still, that's something that'll please somebody out there anyway. We've still not had a sub 1 minute time at the moment, but the fastest lap remains with the team in 5th place, with Space Ape in cart number 1. And that is a 1 minute .228, or 288 I should say. Now here is a driver change about to take place for Team Great Ape. Their first driver change of the day. Curve have just gone 0.04 of a second faster than the fastest lap, with a 1 minute .284. Steady on. So the number 19 machine now changing drivers for their 2nd stint. As mentioned, they have to do 3 driver swaps minimum over the course of the race. So you will see some teams getting it out of the way early on, and then they can adjust how the race goes for them from the later stages when they know if they're going to have a driver in for the end. And there you go. The 1 minute barrier is broken by Space Ape, and it is a 59.902, the fastest lap of the race so far. Wonderful improvement on the pace from earlier on, and that is the number 1 cart as well, very fittingly. Cart number 1 is position number 1 for getting that fastest lap at least. Quali A's lead has come down now to 5.39 seconds over Pixel Toys, so that is definitely changing at the front of the order. Furious B 15 seconds back from the race lead at the moment. Everybody up to 15th place is still on the lead lap at this moment in time. There's a battle going on in the middle of the pack here on our screens, actually, just as they come down through the middle sector of the circuit. I'm just trying to figure out which of them it was, actually, as they were making their way around there. The race leaders coming through the middle of the course at the moment. But Quali A at the moment leading from Pixel Toys. Still just holding on, 2.7 seconds the difference at the front though at the moment. And they're making their way back through the order is cart number 5, that's Curve. They had that issue earlier on. Cart number 8 let them down, so now they are back out in cart number 5 and recuperating those positions. They just got past the number 11 of Frontier Development. That's the Kelly green one, not the Sage Pistachio Bottle or Moss green one. And again, another position gain there for Curve. I believe they've just gone past Trailer Farm as well, actually, that weren't too far in front of them either. Trailer Farm in the sweet lilac colour. And now Frontier trying to get past them as well. Actually, no, there is the number 10 machine of Trailer Farm. I do apologise. Just in front of them now. So Curve chasing them down for an extra place. There's a bit of, I was going to say there was some shenanigans in front. They were having to back out of it because of a slower kart on the exit of the corner. And the driver from Curve got a little bit caught out there. Thrown a curveball, you could say. And that was that. He had to slam on the brakes. And these things spin around very quickly on the brakes when you slam on. In terms of the fastest lap of the race, though, it still stands at a 59.902, but that's a great time around here at Whilton Mill. All the same as, whoa, we've got a big spin there around to the final corner, and it was the number 3 machine that I think was just on the exit there. That was the B different B kart that caught them out. And who was that that's gone spinning? I'm going to have to see who it was that dropped down. I think it was the Lucid A kart just got caught out in that. It was Lucid A on the exit of the final corner. And there's been a contact warning from race control to number 10, the Trailer Farm. There's the Lucid A driver now, just rejoining safely, taking time to get back on the circuit in a safe manner. That's what we love to see. Nice, clean and safe racing is what we always try and achieve here at Whilton Mill. And we've now hit the £350 mark in terms of donations as well. So thank you, everybody, for donating so far. Much appreciated. And I'm sure with the current momentum we've got, with over 90 minutes of the race left to go, we will smash that £1,000 goal before the end of the stream. Still Space Ape with that fastest lap, though, just behind Furious B at this moment in time as well, hoping to take that 3rd position. And I think they just have, actually, because that's the Furious B driver there, and I believe Space Ape in the number 1 car were just in front. Yes, they were. So Space Ape now moving ahead in sage green and hoping to get up into 2nd place before too long. Pixel Toys still holding on to 2nd place, 2 seconds behind Quali A. Just trying to figure out where they are on the circuit, actually. I think they're just going up. This is Quali A now, leading the way in kart number 23. The driver in the yellow helmet in front is Lucid B. That's number 17. And yes, as confirmed by our timing screen there, Space Ape have now moved up into 3rd position. So they're having a really strong run of it in the opening stages. Can't believe nearly the first half hour of the race has already gone. Still got the fastest lap, though, for our 3rd place runners at the moment. Only 1 contact warning so far, and to be fair, it's not an easy circuit to overtake at, is Whilton Mill. And that is the battle for the lead, just going down the back straight right now. The number 23 of Quali A, with Pixel Toys just behind. Pixel Toys trying to unlap themselves there as they unlap number 17, Lucid B. They've put a lap on them now. Round the final corner they go. And across the start-finish line, we'll see whether any of the teams are starting to jump up in the air and really urge their drivers on. But at this moment in time, that is our race leader on our screens right now. Number 23 for Quali A is currently about a 1.5 seconds their race lead at this moment in time, with Pixel Toys in 2nd position. But both teams combined really have got a decent gap over everybody behind. In terms of their current pace, though, they're about 2 seconds a lap slower than the kart behind them. Space Ape did a 1:06 on that last lap, and the other teams did 1:02s, 1:02.0 and 1:02.5 on their previous laps. There was a 1:01 as well by Quali B, 1:01.3. There was a 1:0.5 by Curve, so Curve definitely up there as one of the fastest teams at the moment. Here is a driver change, kart number 3 coming in. That is the B different B team, and a lovely slick driver change there for those guys, and straight back out onto the circuit to crack on with some more quick laps. B different B currently running down in 22nd place, but still putting the times in and continuing to crack on. On our screen right now is kart number 19, which is the Great Ape team. I think they're just getting lapped at the moment, as there's a new fastest lap there for Space Ape of 59.795. So that team in 3rd place, definitely the quickest on the circuit right now. Teams ahead of them were about a second slower on that previous lap. There's a purple first sector as well coming in from Space Ape. So kart number 1 is definitely earning that number at the moment, being the quickest out there on the circuit. The lead battle has actually spread out a little bit more over this previous lap as well. Quali A are now getting away from Pixel Toys. quick thank you again to the partners and sponsors of this wonderful event. EA Sports and Great Ape Games and Tanglewood Games will have their logos cycling through on the right-hand side of your screens for those watching the live stream. And there is also the Tiltify QR code in the top right of your screens as well. If you do wish to donate, the easiest way is to just go through that QR code, scan it on your phones, and it only takes a minute or so. I'll be donating live on air a little bit later on as well to show you just how easy it is. You won't have to leave the live stream for long, don't you worry, everybody. Quali B in the pit lane right now. Kart number 20, according to our timing screen on the left-hand side. They're going to be making one of their pit stops. Seemed like there was a driver there trying to sort of egg his team on to egg him on then for just a moment. There is the driver swap completed for Quali B. Straight back out onto track in kart number 20, and they make their way onto the circuit. Curve now holding the fastest lap of the race, improving to a 59.677 on their 23rd lap of the race. 24 laps completed for our race leaders, and the gap was only 0.8 of a second last time out as they crossed the line. Seems like the yellow flag in the middle sector of the circuit. There's a contact warning going out from race control to Space Ape in kart number 1, interestingly enough. So on their way through, maybe some back markers. There's been a bit of contact here and there. You still need to be careful of it, whether it be back markers you're overtaking or whether it's people for position in the race. As there's a bit of a moment in the middle sector there for Pixel Toys trying to put a lap on another competitor, but this is the thing, you have to be so careful when you're making your way through what we call slower traffic. Maybe slightly slower on paper, but you still have to be able to drive around them. You need to exercise caution and patience when you're in that part of the pack. And when you are the faster drivers coming through, you have to remember that they can't always see you coming up behind them. Through the first couple of corners, then go our leaders, and the gap is now back over a second for Quali. Looked like somebody was going off there at the bottom of the hairpin, and they were. That was the number 19 machine of Great Ape, just going straight on, bringing a bit of grass back onto the circuit. Never hurt anybody, did it? And here is another pit stop, number 33, which was Ripstone, I believe, in the light grey. They're just making their first driver change of the race. The kart trying to get away from them there in the pit lane. And straight in, and off they go. Kart number 33 emerging back onto the circuit. It looked like as well the D3T team in 13th position were also preparing for a pit stop there. Their drivers were just there on the pit lane exit. And here is your lead battle again, coming round the final corner now. Quali A leading Pixel Toys. It was just over a second last time out. And as they crossed the line this time, it was 0.826 of a second. The Quali A driver constantly checking behind them. Here's a big bit of melee in the middle of the field. There's carts going left, right, and all over the place. As I think one of the teams came back out onto the circuit after a pit stop there. There's been a black flag for Space Ape. So Space Ape making their way through the order. Clearly too much contact for their own good, and they've been given a black flag. So they'll be brought into the pit lane. That's going to certainly harm their progress at the moment in chasing down the leaders of the race. That is a real shame. Like I mentioned, though, you do have to remember that they can't see you coming a lot of the time when they're just in front of you. You don't get mirrors, you can't check down your inside really on the way into every corner. So as the driver behind, you're the one that's got the responsibility not to make contact. That's kart number 16 in the pits, I believe, which is Sumo. They're making their way back out. I think Tanglewood came in as well there. Kart number 28. So plenty of change near the front end of the order here as Space Ape will be told to come into the pit lane. I just saw the Electric Square A personnel making their way through the pit lane with their box board to tell them to come in. As it seems, Ripstone are having a very poor day, unfortunately. The kart has seemingly given up on them again. And the number 1 machine into the pit lane, it seems. Space Ape into the pits and into what is known as the penalty box. I think the driver may be given a talking to there. And that was a change in the pits for number 24. But yeah, it looks like Ripstone, unfortunately, stranded out on circuit. Looks like the kart's given up on them again. And don't forget they had the number 6 machine give up on them earlier on. And hopefully that is the last of their dramas, but we'll have to see. There's a number 32 making a pit stop. That's Electric Square B. Running a bit further down the order, making their changes. The number 1 machine here of Space Ape being spoken to about the driving standards.
Driver change, which means obviously if you want to do a driver change next to him, go around one more time. Wait 20 seconds here. Do 20 seconds.
You can see the discussion there between driver and marshal. He was saying that because he's been brought in for having a black flag, they aren't able to complete the driver change this time round. Either that or I think he has to go for another lap. And then he can come back in to complete the driver change, so they can't sort of roll them both into the same visit into the pit lane and get away with it, basically. Back out onto the circuit goes the number 1 machine. They were on an absolute flyer as well, having the fastest lap of the race for quite a while. But the fastest lap at the moment is still held by the number 5 of Curve. That's the number 18 kart that's just come into the pit lane, and joining them number 15 as well. That's Shark Mob that have been in, and the number 15 was Pixel Toys, who were running in 2nd position, chasing down the race leaders. And now obviously that has changed significantly with that pit stop. There's a number 32 machine, and number 3 side by side down the start-finish straight. Running slightly apart, a few laps apart actually, but 21st and 23rd in the overall standings at the moment. Back out onto the circuit there goes, I believe, the Electric Square team. Now I can take a safe bet on that one because Electric Square are either in navy or in black, and they both look very dark on screen anyway when I'm watching them from my live timing. We've got Curve with another fastest lap of the race, a 59.642. And who's this emerging now into the pit lane? It's the number 1 machine coming back in this time round. Space Ape dropping all the way down into 15th position now, 2 laps down. And would you look at that, everybody up to 6th place has been lapped by our current race leaders. There is the number 1 completing a driver change. In they get, and off they go, and Space Ape continue on their way. Also in is the number 2 kart of CG Hero, and now the number 10, and the 33 has been recovered from earlier. It looks like the steering wasn't quite straight on that kart actually for a moment there. So I'm not sure what's gone on there, unfortunately, to the number 33 machine, which was being driven by Ripstone a little bit earlier. And the number 10 having their pit stop filmed there, looking fantastic for Trailer Farm. And they crack on and off they go. Our cameraman being told to move out of the way even as they get on with it. Our cameramen are used to karting pit lanes. They know what to expect, don't you worry. There's number 5 of Curve, currently fastest car on the circuit. And I believe that was just for position, actually, overtaking the number 15 of Pixel Toys, was it? It was not. I was mistaken. I was just thinking it was a similar colour, but no, that was the number 3 machine that they were putting a lap on there, actually. The number 3 of Be Different B, running down in 21st place at the moment. So it's Quali A at the moment, still leading from Pixel Toys, and then Curve. Quali B next up, and then Furious B in 5th place. But yes, Curve have moved up into 2nd place on that previous lap. Pixel Toys a couple of seconds behind them now. That's probably where the move was made, and I didn't see that change. But Quali A now leading by nearly half a minute from over everybody else. A fantastic surge away from the rest of the field at these early stages. Very scary moment there for the number 3 and 28. Driver of the 28 there, clearly not very happy with that one from Tanglewood, and then it nearly was a nasty tangle there. They just cut across the nose of them slightly. Again, it's one of those moments, though, when you're the driver behind, you have to realise that the driver in front of you can't always see you. There's not mirrors on these things. We've got somebody else coming into the pit lane. We'll try and pick up on who that was. There's number 32, trying to make a move down the inside as well, up at Christmas Corner. It's kart 17 into the pits, which is the B team for Lucid. As their driver, Tom, was explaining earlier on, it's a pair of teams that have got quick drivers, so they're very confident here. They've got both teams inside the top 10 at the moment. Lucid in the completely solid white colours for this race. A lovely smooth pit stop there as the drivers change, one in, one out, and straight back out of the pit lane with no dramas. There was a green flag flashing towards the later stage of the lap for just a moment, which indicates to me that there's a yellow flag somewhere else on the circuit, maybe in that first sector. There's been a black flag given out for kart number 29, which is the D3T team. And this is their driver coming into the pit lane now, so hopefully whatever they've done will be spoken about. They'll be able to carry on their way. Frontier also coming in the green shirts. There is one of their team members now waiting for their kart to come to a stop inside the pit lane. And there's the number 23 as well, which is the race leader, has come in for fuel. Getting refueled inside the pit lane. So race leader in, can Curve take advantage of that? They've gone through and taken the lead of the race. And this is Curve now, continuing on their charge up the order, past the number 1 machine, cutting across the front there of the Space Ape team. A little bit unnecessary, but still, I suppose it sends a message. And there is the number 23. So they've been refueled, and now they're going to get the kart stopped, complete their driver change, and the current race leaders head back out on circuit to go chasing Curve, Pixel Toys, and Quali B. And even Furious B have gone through now and gained a place. There's the driver of the number 20 in Quali B, looking very, very feisty right now, trying to chase past the number 17 machine and put a lap on them, I believe. That's Lucid B that have just been into the pit lane. So we're over half an hour of the way through this race so far, over a quarter of the way through. Can't believe it's gone that quickly. We're at a £355 total for the donations at the moment. Please do donate if you can. There's a QR code on the right-hand side of your screen up there in the top right corner for those watching the live stream. And if you click on said QR code, you'll be able to donate via your phones. Lovely move there by the number 5 machine, actually, of Curve, overtaking the number 16 kart, which is a little bit further down the order, I believe. That was Sumo in 15th place. Oh, there's 2 karts actually around there. I think it may be the same 2. Looked like Sumo was around at the hairpin as I re-looked at my timing screen and then back up to the stream, and there was 2 karts backwards. They're all good to carry on. Electric Square A currently in 13th position in kart number 27, but look at Curve flying through the order here. Really on a mission. Certainly their driver knows what they're doing. It seems like the conditions aren't as greasy as they were anymore. Doesn't look like it's carried on even drizzling, never mind raining. So it looks like it's dried up. There's not been any improvement on the fastest lap since it hit a 59.642 earlier on. That's still held by our current race leader. At Curve, there was a little bit of impatience there through turn 1. I think that was the Frontier development driver looking down the inside. There's a bit of slower traffic and they weren't ready to back out for that one. I think the driver that they went into the back of was the number 16 machine. There's been more contact up at the top. Is that Shark Mob involved? They had a driver in the black race suit earlier on with a yellow helmet on. I don't think they had their shirt on though, so I'm not sure if that was a driver from a team that I just hadn't noticed. Thank you, Alex May, for your donation. Donating £20 to take us up to £375 now in the GamesAid 2023 karting final. Look at this big pack of karts in the middle of the field here, all trying to make moves on one another. This is a real tense time where you've got to be so careful to make sure that you do not make contact with other drivers. I've been joined by one of our ex-race leaders, the first driver out for Quali A. Welcome, sir, to the box. What's your name first off?
David Dowling from Quali.
Nice to meet you, David. You've had a great race so far. It certainly looks like it's been going well for you guys. It nearly got close with Pixel Toys, though.
Yeah, arch rivals.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was very slippery to begin with, and it was just, especially the first couple of laps, because the tyres were cold.
Yeah, I was going to say, it certainly looks... Oh, I mean, there's still dramas going on up there at Christmas Corner. It certainly looked like the opening laps were very different to the sort of next 10, 15 minutes. It seemed to get really quick all of a sudden.
Yeah, you had to be really careful overtaking and just be patient, because there's a lot of difference in the speed between the drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a circuit that, in many ways, goes very quickly one way then the other. So you have to be really careful about your lines, don't you, and what the other drivers are doing.
Yeah, when you come around Christmas and it goes right, left, right, it's like a lot of momentum there. It's like swinging.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not easy at all. I noticed you guys went in for fuel, though, quite early. Is that something that you guys have got the option on in this race, or is it just a case of the personnel will bring you in for fuel when it's necessary?
Yeah, they said you can fuel whenever you want, and we've got an hour and a half of fuel, so we thought we'd do it just after half an hour.
I like that.
Yeah.
So good strategy then, getting the fuel stop out of the way early on.
Hope so, but we've got to catch up now.
Well, that's always what they call the undercut, isn't it? It's always a good strategy to get the pit stop done early, then you can just blast on through the race and push from there. I imagine you're very confident after that first stint.
Yeah, well, it's all in the endurance. It's just about not making mistakes. So just got to keep our fingers crossed we don't have any spins.
Yeah, absolutely, fingers crossed indeed. I mean, we've seen a few already where, you know, the drivers have just had one little misfortune like this that we've got on our screens here, just not enough space one way then the other, and all of a sudden, despite it being a longer race, like we've had big contact there, I mean, the main thing you've got to remember as a driver in these sorts of karts is, especially for yourselves coming through, you know, overtaking lap traffic, you're the one that can see them. They don't know you're behind them. It's something you've always got to keep in your head, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes you don't know which way they're going to go, and you just have to be careful.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that at the moment, some people are definitely learning that out on track in this first half hour. So are you getting back in the kart later on? Are you doing another stint afterwards?
No, I think I've done mine. We've got 4 drivers. So
okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And yeah, so we've got Charlie, Andy and Tarek going out. So
smashing. Who's in the kart at the moment then?
I think I'm not sure.
Okay, that's fair enough. I imagine you're all as quick.
I think it's Andy McDonald actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair play, fair play. Well, it's certainly going well for you guys so far, and I wish you all the best of luck with the rest of it.
Yeah,
thanks for joining me.
Thanks very much.
Cheers. So there we go then, Quali A leading the race from the very start then. An early pit stop, getting the fuel stop done and out of the way nice and early, so then they can just push on towards the end of the race. There's always a big spin there in towards the hairpin at the bottom of the hill. I believe that was the Ripstone kart, because the number 6 machine for earlier on, I noticed, this is really how much detail you have to pay attention to as a commentator, it didn't have the sticker set on the back of the kart, so I couldn't see what number it was. And as it came backwards into the corner, it was a lovely indicator as to which one it was. The number 34 machine is off the road there as well, which was Lucid A. Now, they've had a few spins at this moment in time, unfortunately, in this sort of middle stage of this first stint. There's a lot of drivers trying to make their way through the order. It certainly looks like it's gotten greasier again out there. I'm not sure if anyone can confirm whether it's raining again or not, but I can't tell from out the window anyway. But it seems like drivers are all sliding around quite a lot. Yes, it's been confirmed. I've got some nods from the pit wall that it is starting to drizzle again. So it's certainly throwing them a curveball. Hopefully not our race leaders, because that would be way too ironic. There is a big curveball down at Christmas corner. Certainly Christmas not coming early for that team, though, as that pair of drivers ends up off the circuit. Look here, though, on our screens right now, you've got drivers that are starting to tuck in behind the wheel of their karts. That's the Quali B driver, side by side, actually, with their sister team, Quali A. Nice flying formation up through Christmas corner. But you can see the understeer now. The karts are going wide through the apex of the corner and then sideways on the exit as they get back on the power. There's a kart backwards in the middle of the road there, and luckily everybody filtering around it, which way and that way. More donations still coming in. We've passed £400 now on our donation goal, which is fantastic stuff. We're almost halfway through. If we can get halfway through before the halfway stage of the race, then we're in good stead, aren't we, for later on. There's a lot of moves going on here. That's our race leaders for Curve seemingly being overtaken there. Was that the number 23 of Quali A going past them? I think it was. And Quali B as well, actually. We'll have to wait and see when they tick over the timing line, but it certainly looked to me like it was as a round goes, I believe, Frontier. And, oh, well, I think actually one of the karts has just gone past them, has gone backwards on the exit of the final corner as well. And it looked like a Quali A and B 1 and 2, and there was. It was 71 thousandths of a second between the pair of them as they crossed the line. Hopefully they both knew they were there, or it would have been an absolute team kill down at turn 1, wouldn't it, as they threw it through the left-hand kink. But I can now confirm it is Quali A ahead of Quali B. The kart right behind them on the circuit is the perfectly placed kart 7 in P7, which is the Red Kite team. First time I've actually mentioned them today. They've been very under the radar, to be honest with you. There's number 34 of Lucid A just recovering to the circuit yet again. Another spin for them, showing that the conditions are difficult. It's not just on the throttle that it's difficult, though. It's spinning up the rear wheels, I should say. Sometimes if you do stamp on the brakes of these karts, and is that our race leader going around? It is. Our race leader's just had a spin. There's been more spins down at the left-hander in the middle sector of the circuit. You have to be really careful on the brakes because you can lock up the rear axle very quickly in these things and it will overtake the front axle. So there was a spin there for Quali A. I'm unsure whether Quali B was the other one involved there, though. They're in the what's known as the faded denim colour on my little spotter's guide. They've already re-overtaken Curve, though, have Quali A. Somebody's beached off the circuit there, unfortunately. And Quali B do have the race lead by 2.4 seconds now, and then Quali A, then it's Curve. And only 6 seconds off the lead is Pixel Toys. They're suddenly back in the picture as well. Furious B nearly a minute down now, and the last of the karts on the lead lap. So just 5 on the lead lap at this moment in time. And look at them now tiptoeing up to Christmas Corner. There's a rejoin there by, I believe, was that Quali B coming back on again? Was there more of a drama? It's constant spins and offs here for a lot of our lead teams. They've got to be so careful. There's a lot of drivers that are overdoing it in there from the race lead. There is a spin. Was that Quali B? I'm still struggling to tell at this point. I think the Lucid B team had another spin as well in the middle of the pack there. So there's so many spins and then suddenly people coming through taking the lead again that I'm unsure as Curve are now absolutely backwards towards the end of the lap. It's incredible stuff. The conditions changing so quickly. It's not that much of a drastic change in the weather, but it's definitely throwing it all up in the air. There's so many cars littering the circuit at the moment. They've become part of the scenery. The number 4 machine there struggling to get back on. It's not a dignified thing having to try and hop the kart back onto the circuit, but that was the Hutch team at the moment trying to get back on. And Quali A have regained the race lead again. Number 20 running wide for Quali B. Nearly has to pay to get back in. And now Curve holding on to 3rd position, or are they? Because Curve were off the road a moment ago, so I'm not sure whether Pixel Toys might have come through. And they have. Pixel Toys classed in 3rd position now, so 13.1 seconds off the top spot. Curve only a few seconds behind. And then Furious B running in 5th place. There's another yellow flag up at Christmas Corner. The Marshal up there certainly earning their pay today. They're going to have a sore arm by the end of the event. Now, the 2 karts in the pit lane are 33 and 34. They're the 2 colours that I kept getting confused earlier on. Kart 33 is just listed as Kart 33 at the moment, though, so I'm not sure which other team that was that took that on. I'll have to confirm that in a moment's time. But there was another driver that took on Kart 33. It was originally given to Ripstone earlier on when number 6 gave up on them, but then the number 33 kart also gave up on them. So they've certainly not had a great time with the reliability of the kart, unfortunately, today. And the kart off the road there, that is number 15, which is Pixel Toys. They were chasing for the race lead a moment ago. He's decided to go and do some rallying instead of some kart racing, and now has to get back on, hopping and skipping over the curbs on the exit to get themselves back in this race. Now there's the Space Ape team in kart number 1. They're recovering after their earlier black flag. And I'm delighted to say that I've been joined by Chris from Sumo. Chris, welcome to the commentary booth, our wonderful briefing room. How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm loving it in here. It's nice and warm. I'm not out in the rain.
Good point, yeah.
I'm not facing the wrong way on a racing circuit. It's not a bad day. Now, this might be good data for you guys, because I've been told that you're creating a karting game.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. Yeah, I competed in the Southern semi-final for this, but unfortunately didn't qualify. I wasn't fast enough. But I am here to cheer on our other sumo team that are here in the final, but also, gather a bit of research and do a bit of content around our upcoming kart racing game called Stampede Racing Royale, coming to Steam and Early Access on November the 2nd. We're just here to kind of gather a little bit of research and see how our team get on. It's cool to be here, and only just over like a month or so away until we bring it out into Early Access. So.
Cracking.
Good timing.
Yeah, absolutely good timing. Yeah, and I mean, having an event like this, karting is the most raw form of motorsport, that gets so many of the world famous Formula 1 drivers now.
Yeah.
That's where they started with their roots. It often goes underappreciated in the world of motorsport, doesn't it, karting?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm a huge motorsport fan. I'm well into my karting and F1 and all kinds of other motorsports. So yeah, I'm always flying the flag for that, and it's cool to be here. Cheering on karting here for a good cause too. But I guess with our game, Stampede Racing Royale, it's very kind of over the top and otherworldly. Think if you like super like fun, like party game kind of kart racing games.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can think of a few. And yeah, we're kind of more along that side of things, not like the uber realistic or we're not going to be switching for intermediate tyres at a point like this, like many of these drivers probably want to. So yeah, it's a bit more relaxed and chilled out than a big kind of a sim racing kind of kart game, but it's still some parallels we can draw for sure.
Well, as long as these guys aren't firing rockets at each other and doing 300 miles an hour down a start-finish straight, I think we'll be all right. But it looks like it's been a bit of a challenge out there for a lot of the teams so far, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. I think I was just chatting with our sumo team, and our strategy is basically just keep it on the grey stuff and just avoid being pointed the wrong way, and you'll make up ground. We've seen that in the last 15 minutes or so with our latest stint. We've kept steady times, haven't been super quick, but that's got us up through the field, up a few places, because we've seen other drivers very understandably make mistakes in the changing conditions. So yeah, definitely a challenge out there.
Consistency speaks wonders in the world of motorsport, doesn't it? And I mean, like you say, it's all for a great cause. I mean, we've even got donations coming in now that have just put us up to £425. Wow. It's amazing how quickly that is climbing. But when you've got a lot of people out there that you know from the industry out on the circuit, it changes the way that you view the race, doesn't it? Because you know what will be going on in those helmets and what people will be thinking.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It was the same at the Southern semi-finals. It's the same here today. As you know, before the race, we're all shaking hands and having fun and having a good laugh about it. And then as soon as you put the visor down, it gets serious. it gets serious. So it's really fun to see that kind of mindset change. But yeah, it's good to see Sumo making up some good ground. Good to see everybody having a good time. And hopefully, we're nearly halfway through, aren't we? So let's continue. Try and push into the top 10 here, Sumo. What are we? 15th at the moment. Make some decent ground. So let's try and make our way up there. But yeah, it's cool. It's really, really cool. And like you said, all for a good cause.
Yeah, definitely. There's so much fantastic support for it all as well. And I mean, everybody, like you say, you can see a competitive side in all of this, but it just does seem like everybody's enjoying themselves. You know, when you look on the pit wall and you see everybody out there, there's so many smiles and people enjoying themselves. Maybe not inside the helmet of the number 32 machine right now, but that's just part of the game, isn't it? And I think, I don't know if you'll agree, but I think maybe the challenging conditions here, as we see one kart get going as another two spin, I think that really adds to it as well, because it shakes up the result a little bit, doesn't it? Because people might not have been expecting the rain and how the kart's handling said rain.
No, definitely, and it's changing as well, because it was quite drizzly at the start, which forced errors, and then it's dried up a bit, and now it's changing back again to being a little bit damp out there. So yeah, I think the cool thing for, I mean, myself included, and so many people out here, we're just kind of living out a childhood dream. You know, we all wanted to be racing drivers. We all thought we could be, you know, when we were growing up next to Schumacher or Hakkinen or Senna or someone like that. So I imagine a lot of people here are just living out a bit of a childhood dream. So, I mean, it's so tricky out there. We're seeing people spinning off and going wide and stuff. I can't stress enough how much, you know, these are powerful karts, aren't they, right? So to keep that power going in the right direction in these conditions is super tricky, so fair play to all of them.
And I mean, another tricky element to it is even on the brakes as well. Locking up the rear axle, it'll very quickly rotate on its own axis. You've ticked a box with me, though, because you mentioned Mika Hakkinen, and that makes me very, very happy.
That was my guy.
Yeah, absolutely. The only person that Schumacher ever feared.
Absolutely.
But I can tell you that I've always wanted to be a racing driver. There's a reason that I'm a commentator. I'm not a very good driver at all, regardless. But I'll certainly be checking your game out, and I'll be enjoying that, I'm sure, because that's always the sort of thing that I'm after. It's something that keeps the fun in motorsport, because it is nice having these wonderful shiny simulators where everything's all perfect and hunky-dory. You know, I come from an iRacing background, the American simulator era. That's where my commentary career started. But you've just still got to have fun. It's gaming. You've got to enjoy it, you know, because if it gets too serious, it's easy to lose sight of the fun, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think we definitely see Stampede Racing Royale as that kind of, you know, kick back and chill and have some fun and play this, rather than, you know, doing practice sessions and getting yourself psyched up and you know, checking the telemetry and stuff like that. That's cool, and I like that side of racing too. But Stampede Racing Royale is totally different, and we just want people to party up with their friends and jump into a match and compete and have fun and throw power-ups at each other and
cause
go on the boost.
Arguments.
But cause some distress in the family. Absolutely. But it's accessible and it's fun, and it's just that kind of kickback. And whether you're into if you're a big sim racing fan like yourself, and you know, I like my sim race games too. It's just like between sessions, I'll kick back and have a bit of fun playing this, know, chilled out racing game. And if you're not a big racer, this is a great entry point as well, because it's really easy to just pick up and play and have some fun with. So about 6 weeks or so to go until we're into early access and the world can play it on Steam. And we look forward to hanging out with players on there and seeing how it all goes. And plenty of research gathered here, and I think we can. I can track. Our very close going into that turn. Ouch! Oh, might have a retirement.
The word "send" came to mind there.
Yeah, they licked the stamp and sent that one. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we're getting some good research from our own drivers, our own sumo team, to see who we think is going to be good once they're in the world of Stampede Racing Rails. Oh, you were good on the track, so we're expecting big things from you once the game's live.
That's it. It's all the big talk before the release day. Yeah?
Exactly.
Well, thank you very much for joining me, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you, and I hope the rest of the day goes well for you and the team. We'll certainly keep our eyes out, and I'll definitely be downloading the game when I do it as well, and I'll be popping some stuff on my YouTube channel, I'm sure.
Good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you very much, mate. Cheers.
No problem. Thank you.
One. Lovely, lovely stuff. It's great to have so many people in the box with me today and have a good chat with them all. As you can see, whoa, big moment there for the number 34 machine coming on to the start-finish straight. That was the number 34 being... Where have they disappeared to? Oh, it's just down as kart 34 at the moment, unfortunately, so I'm not quite sure which of the teams has adopted that kart, but they are down at the back according to our timing screen, so we'll have to try and catch up with that. It's the pedal on the left, Sunshine, as there is a changeover here for the curve team, kart number 5. It seemingly doesn't want to come to a stop, but there's kart number 2 facing the wrong way. It's a jazzy helmet design you've got there, Sunshine. That is kart number 2 of CG Hero, and kart number 15 taking their fuel stop now. That's Pixel Toys. As we found out earlier from the Quali A team, obviously we can speak to them and figure out when they were going to do their fuel stop, but they get about an hour and a half's worth of fuel, so they need to fill up at some point. So what they did was got that half hour out of the way, filled it up, and off they go. We have kart 17 on our screen right now, which is the Lucid B team. You can see that the conditions are still very treacherous. They're having to be really smooth around a lot of these corners and keep it nice and tidy, because as soon as you put a lot of lock on and you're overly aggressive on the brakes or on the throttle, then you're going to have a problem. It's like being down at the petrol station here at the moment. There's a bit of a queue going on as everybody tries to get fuel before a bank holiday weekend or something. Right then, kart 15 back out onto the circuit right now. That is Pixel Toys. They've been near the front of the pack throughout this whole race, and we're going to be hoping that that continues. We've got 1 hour and 3 minutes left of this race. I can't believe we're already nearing the halfway point. £445 raised at this moment in time, so thank you everybody that's been donating so far. Let's try and get to that £500 mark, shall we, before we get halfway through this race. You've got 3 minutes, and trust me, it doesn't even take a third of that to donate. You just need to scan the QR code in the top right hand side of your screen, and you'll be taken straight there as well. And then you can fill in your details and very quickly donate to the wonderful causes here that have been obviously supported by GamesAid themselves and EA Sports, Great Ape Games and Tanglewood Games over the course of today. The QR code will take you to Tiltify, and that's where you'll be able to fill in your details and donate. So please do, it'll be fantastic. You get your name to come up on the screen as well, and if you donate more than we've had at the moment with our top donation of £50, you'll be able to have your name up there for the entire stream. So Quali A continue to lead the race, as we've had an amazing donation come through from Henry at Electric Square. Thank you very much to Henry, who's donated £100 on the spot to ensure that we hit that £545. Well, we've hit the 500 mark, I should say, before an hour is done. So thank you very much, Henry. Whoa, a rejoin there in the middle of the road by the number 31 machine coming back onto the circuit. That was the B Different A team. And now I was going to jump on this earlier, actually, but the B Different A kart has apparently done 2 fastest laps here in this race that have shown up on our screens before. They're now showing as having the fastest lap of the race, 11.8 seconds, apparently. So that is absolutely rocket pace. They've definitely been playing the game that Chris spoke to me about before. Is, oh, dearie me. There's a bit of impatience there from the number 1 machine, clipping the back end. I think that was the number 15 of Pixel Toys being turned around on the exit of Christmas corner. There was a lot of impatience on show there. They just drove into the back of them and turned them around on the spot. But like I said, you've got to be that kart that is the one behind that knows what's going on in front of you. You have to be able to keep it nice and tidy, and you just got to be patient with whoever's in front of you. You can see them, they can't see you. Still loads of battles going on in the middle of the pack. And I'm delighted to say that I've been joined by another driver from Pixel Toys. Jonathan, welcome to the booth, my friend. It's challenging out there, to say the least, at the moment.
Very challenging. I mean, it started off well. We had some good line, but the rain came in and just lose all traction. There was a fair few times I was full lock over and just kept going straight, wouldn't stop it.
Well, as I was saying, I was speaking to Chris earlier from Sumo, and he was saying that, you know, it's not just about getting on the power, like we see here out the final corner, the number 17 having a spin. It's on the brakes as well, isn't it? That rear axle just goes so quickly.
Yeah, you have to be so sensitive. I mean, third corner, I believe it is, there was about 3-4 cars spun, and so I tried to back it off, couldn't get it off, so I had to hit the brakes on harder, and it's just 180 straight. Doesn't matter how much experience you have, if you have one bad corner and spin out, you can have 4 cars behind you and you're sitting there waiting. So it's anyone's game. It's just who can keep it on the track, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been entertaining so far. We've got our race leaders coming into the pits right now, the Quali A team. B different A, apparently, I'm sure if they might have missed a timing loop somewhere, but apparently they've got the fastest lap within 11 seconds, 0.815 at the moment.
Yeah, I think they missed a loop there somewhere.
Yeah, I think someone's cut a corner or 7. But we've had a few karts sort of having issues like this today, unfortunately. The number 6 machine and now the 33 have given up on some of our teams. But you guys have had it all right so far, kart-wise. Does it feel all right as a machine?
Yeah, it feels like a really good kart. I mean, Phil was flying with it. It does feel like one of the best karts we've had. It's just obviously just trying to keep it on the track now. That's the big one. Hopefully Ben's out now, and then Arthur to finish. So hopefully they can keep it on the track and get a good result.
Well, fingers crossed for you, mate. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope it all goes well.
All the best. Cheers.
Thank you. So, the race continues then. That was Jonathan from Pixel Toys just joining us from the number 15 machine. They're into 6th position at the moment, and we've hit that £500 goal now at the halfway point of the race. And now we continue on with more dramas down there at the hairpin, and it seems like the number 33 kart does not want to play ball. And just trying to see, it's Lucid A that are apparently in that kart at the moment. There is the timer on the gantry. As you see, 57 minutes left to go, well into the halfway point of the race at the moment. And right now, the lead for Quali A is 49 seconds. They are absolutely flying at this moment in time, and they continue to do so. Shark Mob have just moved their way up into 6th place, and that is the number 5 Curve machine being shimmied back onto the circuit, looking for some assistance there. You can see the disdain, the disappointment from the driver, really frustrated at the fact that they have to wait now to get back onto the circuit. It's spread out a little bit in the midfield now. We've got only the 4 karts on the lead lap at this moment in time, and 3 of them are quite close together actually. B different A, Quali B and Frontier, only separated by about 6.4 seconds last time that they crossed the line. There is the number 5 Curve machine back underway. But Quali continuing to lead the way now by over 50 seconds. It's a great drive so far. There's a push from Curve, a little bit too much of a push, and around they go at the first corner. You've got to be so careful with these karts. They sort of float along the surface, and unfortunately the rear end letting go there on the driver of the number 5. But they get straight back underway under their own power. They've got a kart over to the left-hand side, and there is just an example of how difficult it can be to spot anybody coming up behind you. There's all the teams on the pit wall. There's a camera down at the final corner, everybody, if you want to give it a wave from wherever you may be. There you go, one gentleman has done so and waved, at least. Thank you very much. as you saw there from the gentleman with the sign, the number 28 is going to box this time round as well. That's the Tanglewood team in 6th position as of this time across the line. And they'll be in the pits momentarily, and I'm sure one of their team members will be down into the commentary box to flog me for giving away their pit strategy, wherever they may be coming in. Side by side here coming into the final sector as well. I believe is that the Frontier team side by side with Pixel Toys. That's actually the battle for 4th and 5th places, I believe, between those two teams, unless there is now a full lap between them. Down the start, finish straight they go, and Frontier hold on to that 4th position, trying to chase down Kwali B at this moment in time. There was about 3 seconds between them before, maybe a bit less than that actually, about 2.3, and they were continuing that chase. But the consistency in the times is always so important. And as we spoke to some of the drivers before, they were saying that it's all about just keeping the pace the same throughout the race and not making those mistakes. Because one spin can cost you so much time and then you can't recuperate it later on.
Hello.
Hello, love. How are you doing? I'm delighted to be joined once again from, I'm going to say, the star of Team Hutch.
Oh my God, you can't say that. That's too much praise.
I'm not allowed. But no. So the purple rose colour for your team at this event, one of many off-white colours. I think it's just the shirts that have been put in the wash with other colours, don't you?
It may well be. I really don't know. But I'm quite appreciating the fact that we've all got these different colours. It makes it a little bit easier to spot your friends out in the crowd.
That's a very good point, actually. And yeah, as a commentator, it certainly makes life a bit easier for me, especially when usually in karting, all you've got to look at is a lot of very, very fancy, jazzy karting suits with all the same design on them.
Yeah. I need to say I'm really jealous of the ones who've got that tie-dye look on their on their shirt. They look really good.
Yeah, the D3T team and Great Ape. Now, obviously, you're here with Hutch for this event. Hutch, their own studio as well for
That's
Gaming
right.
Force, aren't they? And what is it that Hutch do within the industry that you could tell everybody that's at home?
Yeah, so we make mobile games specifically about cars, motorsport, and racing. So we've made a game called F1 Clash, which is a manager-style game based on the real-world F1 World Championship. So I got distracted because my guy's up on the screen there in the number 4. He's absolutely owning it right now.
Absolutely.
We put him out in tricky conditions, and he's really muscling for a move there. Come on, boy.
Ooh, it's all close down into turn 1. It's a case of holding your breath.
But he's got the inside into 2. Come on, buddy. Yes.
There you go.
Sorry.
That's
Very into this.
There's no bias up here in the commentary box. We're not allowed, but still, that was a lovely move. But he's been mugged on the exit now by the number 17 machine.
Yeah.
This is the thing, though. I don't want to make it a theme of. I don't want to sound like I'm moaning for the commentary, but something that's so difficult when there's drivers out there with little experience in karts like this that are wider at the back than they are at the front. It's knowing that the people behind you, or even when you're chasing drivers down in front of you, they can't see you when you're behind them, can you? It's so difficult to always remember that with the spread of talent in the field.
Yeah, absolutely. You really do need to have good spatial awareness. And there goes my guy. Come on, man, stay on the track. I definitely need to keep my wits about me because, yeah, you're right that the level of experience is very varied across the entire field. I wanted to be one of the hot ones up the front, and we started well. Unfortunately, I ended up losing a lot of places in lap 1 just because of the fact that the track was slick and the tyres were cold. I didn't make enough allowances for it.
Well, I was going to say the conditions have certainly thrown up a different order to what some drivers seem to be expecting. We've had another replacement here given to the drivers of the number 33 machine. I think that 33 car is going to be flogged off after this one. It'll be on eBay this afternoon, that one.
Yeah.
As spares.
We were pretty lucky, actually. We were supposed to be in the number 12 kart, but just before on the dummy grid, I pointed at one of the mechanics and sort of looked down because our left front was just leaking fluid of some sort.
Oh, right.
So we said, like, can we have a different one? And they were like, yeah, we'll give you the number 4 so that you can get on with your day. And that was very fortunate that it happened before the race and not during the race.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's going well so far, to say the least. There's been some good progress as the number 6 machine comes in. That's Ripstone. They've certainly had a day of it as well. But isn't it great to have everybody together for this? Like, there's such a great crowd of people, you know, everyone from different studios, different companies. It's just a positive vibe, isn't it?
It is, and I really like the atmosphere. I was upstairs on the gantry looking down with the guys from Space Ape, and they're all really cool. They've got some very experienced drivers on their team, and we remembered each other from last time, so we said, hey, how's it going? And I offered to buy them a really, really big greasy lunch to try and slow them down, but they didn't go for it. They're too professional, unfortunately, for that.
Well, it's all about the minimal strategies, isn't it? The tiny differences between teams can make such a difference. What are your hopes then for the remainder of the race, mate? Are you hoping to break into that top 10, or are you even hoping for a top 5?
Well, we were looking at a top half as like a realistic thing that we could go for. With the spin at the very beginning, of course, we've had to kind of realign, so we changed our strategy around, boxed very early for our first stop, and now we're hoping to stick it out a little bit longer and dodge some traffic during the refueling phase. So it would be great if we could stay top 10, or get into the top 10 and stay there. That's where we're aiming right now.
Well, I wish you all the best for that and hope it continues to go well. We'll certainly keep our eye on the number 4 machine as the driver of the sumo kart gives us a wave into the pit lane there. Are you done with your stints now, though? Is there any more that you're going to be doing? Is there going to be any extra stops or anything?
So I did a very short 15-minute stint at the beginning of the race, so I've still got some time left. I'm going to go out in a little while and hopefully take the checker in just under an hour's time.
Indeed, I can't believe how quickly it's gone, actually. Does it feel like it's going that quickly for the teams and drivers, do you reckon, on the pit wall? Does it feel like it's going quickly for you guys?
It absolutely does for me. My second driver did a 40-minute stint, and I think I'd just about taken off my racing overalls, and then suddenly 40 minutes was over. Yeah. So I'm well aware that it's only going to be 20 minutes until I'm in the car probably, and it's going to go like that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I need to get ready.
Cracking stuff. Well, we'll let you go and get ready. Thank you very much for joining me, mate. Mucho appreciate. Cheers.
Cheers, Chaz.
Okie dokie, so keep your eye on that number 4 team, everybody, from Hutch, as we had on their screen there. Oh, there was a big hit for a moment there between two of our drivers. I think somebody just spun in front of the rest of the field. They seem to have been spun back around by that and have cracked on, so they seem okay, as the number 1 of Space Ape now in a fight for 10th position with the number 4 team of Hutch, and it seems like Hutch have gone through, actually, and gained that place back from them. But a quick update with just under 50 minutes to go. It's still Quali A leading the way by nearly a minute from B different A. They've certainly been flying. I mean, those 11-second laps earlier on certainly were a surprise, but I think maybe either an issue with timing or, unfortunately, a cut-through of the circuit of some kind. But the number 31 car in second place, Quali B in third position. Be great to see 2 of the Quali teams on the podium. They were first and third on the grid as well a little bit earlier on. There's a black and white flag there to kart number 17, I think that was, and that's the Lucid B team. That'll be upsetting because they're currently actually in the 17th spot in the field at the moment. I don't think there is any other team that is pulling that off at the moment by the look of it. But a great battle there towards the later stages of the lap, and our race leaders going through there. Kart number 19 in the pit lane. That's the Great Ape team, one of those tie-dye tops that we were talking about before. And we've been told now that there are more donations coming in. Chris Wood's sunglasses have apparently donated £20 to this. Maxo also with a donation of £50. Thank you very much. And we have now hit £645 towards our £1,000 donation goal before the end of the race. A bit more contact and argy-bargy going on there. But again, there was a hand in the air there from the Hutch driver as if to say, what are you doing? But you need to remember, these drivers cannot see you next to them when you are racing that closely together. There's no way of knowing. You have to be really, really careful about it. And like I say, when you're the driver behind, you have to be the one to make sure that you don't make contact with them. They won't always see you come in, as there's a spin in the middle of the pack there in contact, and that was our race leaders involved. Quali A having a bit of a moment. I think the number 31 kart was involved in that with them as well. It was the 31 there that's on our screen. And the number 3, sorry, that was in that one. That is Lucid A. Here's a driver change for kart number 19, which is the Great Ape team in the tie-dye blue and green top. And there's a big pack of karts all in the middle of the field here, and they're all sort of leaning on each other. There's a bit of bumping and barging going on. 16 down the inside of the 7. Are they close together in terms of positions in the race? I don't think so. The number 7 machine getting a bit of a wake-up call there of red kite on the exit of the final corner. You have to display and witness a lot of patience here at this part of the race, though, when everybody's lapping each other There's a couple of laps between a number of the teams at this moment in time, so you have to figure out who you're battling and who you're not. That's something difficult to get used to as a driver, is the fact that you could have 4 or 5 karts around you, but you might only be battling one of them for position. There's the number 24 Grandad Digital kart in the pit lane being refueled at the moment. It seems like that pack in the middle has just spread out slightly at this moment in time. Big send there down the inside by the number 5 Curve machine. Again, it's another moment where you just need to be aware of any sends you're making and whether the other drivers can see you. Bit of contact there from the Quali A machine, kart number 20. It's currently a Quali 1-2, as Quali B have overtaken B different A. They remain the top 3 teams at the moment, over a lap ahead of anybody else. And there's the number 31 kart. He's not going to know that the 23 is there. Goes for a move and has a look. There's a lovely hand gesture from one of the drivers behind them there as well. That driver just going through our shot. There's the number 5 Curve machine. Still flying up the order again is Curve, but they've got a couple of laps to gain on the race leaders. More and more argy-bargy there actually between karts 17 and 28. They're still rubbing panels as they come around the final corner, and there they go across the start-finish line. That was Tanglewood, kart number 28. A lap ahead of Lucid B, at least, at this moment in time. And there is, again, our race leader making progress. Putting more laps on other teams. That was kart 31 that they were just overtaking then. And that was B different A, actually. That was them putting a lap on the 3rd place runners at the moment. I was looking a lot further down the order for who that was, but they've put an entire lap on 3rd position as of right now. Fantastic pace. Thumbs up from the pit wall, and number 20 will be coming into the pit lane soon. That's the Quali B team. Coming in from 2nd place. Looked like there was some marbles, as we call them there, a little bit of rubber on the outside of the circuit being kicked up slightly. They're 3 wide up towards Christmas Corner. That's not a great idea. The number 1 machine right in the middle of it all, somehow making it through there. Space Ape got a warning earlier on for contact, and they're definitely backing out of that one to make sure they don't get another one. Trying to figure out which of the karts that was just going through in front of them. I think that was the Quali B machine, number 20, making its way through. And then the race leader just under a lap behind them. It's side by side still behind as well. That's number 1. Side by side again. You've got to give him room to come back on the circuit, Sunshine. At some point, that's the number 29 machine of D3T in there as well. Both of them had black flags and warnings earlier on, actually, so hopefully for the sake of the little battle they've just had there, they don't get more. As into the pit lane comes the 2nd place runner at the moment, Quali B, kart number 20, making a pit stop again. Around the final corner, more of them poor, making sure that they don't clip the curbs on the left-hand side. It's very easy to push too hard out the final corner and go over the very, very bumpy curb there. It's certainly not a part of the circuit you want to get out onto, especially if you're not as experienced in these machines. That's the number 26, I believe, coming back out. Or was that the Quali B kart, actually, making its way back out? It could have been the 28 even of Tanglewood, because they're all in similar colours, actually, as they came out of the pit lane there. We've had a personal best lap time for Sumo, a 1:02.027 by their driver at the moment, so they're doing their ultimate pace as of right now. But another reminder that you can obviously donate even if you're watching the live stream, everybody. All you need to do is scan the QR code in the top right of your screen and you'll be taken to the Tiltify app. And just even if you want to just go onto tiltify.com and look for the organisation itself as it comes up on the website, just look for GamesAid-2023 and you'll find it there and be able to donate directly from that website. We've hit £645 of the £1,000 goal so far, and hopefully we'll be able to hit that £1,000 before the end of the race. Thanks to all of you that have donated so far. It's fantastic to see, and of course your names will all come up on the top right of our screen. And so, there's a bit of contact there in the mid-pack as some of the drivers go through lapped traffic. It's all about being opportunistic in races like this and trying to make the most of the lap traffic around you. We've got 40 minutes of the race left to run here at Whilton Mill. And it's still Quali A leading the way. They're now a lap ahead of second place, B different A, then Quali B. We spoke to some of the drivers before that said they expected Quali to win this one, and it seems like they are not disappointing at this moment in time. We have on our screens the number 34 and 16 karts. That's Sumo continuing to make their way further up the order, just overtaking the B different B team. And on the infield of the circuit, it looks like Sumo are absolutely flying. They're in the bright red shirts and making solid progress at this moment. Thanks again to EA Sports, Great Ape Games and Tanglewood Games as well for their support of this event. And another word on GamesAid themselves, actually. They have comedy nights and gala nights that they run. They have a lot of industry events throughout the year, and they do bake-off style events, apparently, which I would very much like to be a part of, because games and cake, you can't get much better than that. There are comedy nights. There's one in Liverpool on the 16th of November, and the next gala night that they have planned is in London on the 19th of October as well. GamesAid also have a stand at EGX, which is the convention at the XL Centre in London on October the 12th to the 15th. But it's all smiles down there in the paddock. You can see drivers certainly enjoying themselves as the event goes on. There's a lot of fantastic faces that are really having a good time by the look of it. We've got the number 20 machine trying to make a move down the start-finish straight. It has to back out of that. That's the Quali B team currently running third in this race. I think the kart that's just in front of them there is the number 10 of Trailer Farm. I think it might have been that they've just gone past anyway. They've just made their way up through Christmas Corner at the top end of the circuit and will now head back down into the mid section of the course, which is one of the tightest parts here because they have to slam onto the brakes, go through an almost right-hander. Almost, well, I was not going to say almost a right-hander. It is a right-hander, but it's almost a hairpin. And then they have to make their way through the final parts of the lap. Gina from GamesAid, welcome to the commentary box, which you've been sat in for the whole race, I believe, already. How are you doing? How are you enjoying the event so far?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's just getting better and better every time. It's the third go-karting event for the charity, and every time there is a new thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the wonderful world of motorsport. No day is ever the same, is it?
Yeah, true. Unpredictable, isn't it?
Absolutely. We've got a black flag for Grandad Digital, the number 24 team at the moment, unfortunately, which is a shame. But everyone's being very competitive. They're all, I mean, when we spoke to them this morning, they're all saying, "Oh, it's all for a good fun, you know, it's all for a great cause still." But you know, I think the competitive edge has eked out of a lot of teams, don't you reckon?
Yeah, definitely. People are here for the charity, but they are definitely here for the competition.
Yeah, there's certainly teams that have they've not come to play. Let's say they've certainly come to try and win this race. But talk to me a little bit about GamesAid and what the fantastic organisation does, because there's so many branches to the tree, so to speak, isn't there?
Yeah, we're a tree ourselves basically. We're an umbrella charity, and then so the members of the charity they sorry. Members of the charity, they basically vote on the charities for us to support every year.
Right, okay.
And then there's the system that goes on it. So first you nominate one, and then there's the voting system, and then that's how they get chosen every year.
Okay.
Obviously, there's a criteria that it follows.
Yeah.
But this year's charities are AFK, Solving Kids Cancer, Access Sport, Autistica, and Game Therapy UK.
Wonderful.
Those are the ones GamesAid is supporting this year.
Yeah, and it's great to see that, because at the end of the day, it's sort of been called upon by the people, so to speak. So, you know, you'll know that it's going to the right place that has the most sort of, I don't want to call it like there's the most call for it, basically. So it's being channeled into the right place, isn't it?
Yeah. All of these charities have a common thing, which is what we aim to on the charities we support, is that it supports disadvantaged and disabled children and young adults.
Okay, yeah.
So every single charity has a purpose around that.
Yeah.
and that's what GamesAid tries to focus on. It's not particularly the charities are to do with games. Some of them are, but it's mostly about the industry supporting the smaller charities.
It's where the focus lies, basically, and where the money goes to. You know, is what it gives the most support to. Is all within a certain focus area, which is really good to see. Just had a note a moment ago that we've had a black flag for the 5th place kart, number 5 Curve. Now they've had a real roller coaster of a day so far, and I mentioned a aforementioned curveball earlier on when it got thrown their way. Unfortunately, the black flag is the latest of the curveballs for the Curve team, so hopefully they can overcome that. What have you made of the race so far, though, as a spectacle? There's a lot going on, isn't there? Considering that we've nearly done an hour and a half already.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. So much. I don't even understand what the black flags are, to be fair. Do you want to explain it to me?
Yes, I absolutely will. It's basically like a disqualification. So I can't really think of how to explain it further, but it is a disqualification. But in this case, they won't be disqualified completely from the race. They'll be given a black flag. They'll have a talking to from one of our marshals, who's going to give them a very friendly wave there, as if to say, here you go, sunshine, you're going to get a telling off now. They'll explain why they've got a black flag, whether it's to do with contact or whether it's to do with a curb. Would maybe be able to hear him, but I can't quite hear what he's having explained to him. But then they'll be allowed to carry on and go back through the race. So they're not being taken completely out of the race, but they're just, obviously it costs them a bit of time, and they'll be knocked back slightly and given a warning, which is, it's a good way of doing it, because at the end of the day, when it gets very competitive in something like this, you have to consider the driving standards and keep everybody sane.
You gotta make it fair as possible.
Yeah.
I just thought we just reached 700 pounds. I really hope we can reach the 1,000. Come on, people.
Oh yeah.
Donate. It's for charity.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. Everybody's doing a great job so far.
Everyone's loving it.
£100 donation earlier as well, which was fantastic, which we're very, very grateful for. But another £50 has gone in from Delaru. Thank you very much to Delaru. Still, plenty of time left though. Over half an hour yet. I'm sure that it'll fly by, but still, there's plenty of time for the money to still come in, I guess.
The top donation is wrong.
Yeah, we need to get that updated. Actually, I'm not quite sure why that's not showing the £100 that came through earlier on. But
I'll just do a shout out then. It's a top donation by Henry from Electric Square.
It was. It absolutely was. I'm glad you remembered his name, because I didn't want to get his name wrong. I was really scared of saying it. So sorry, Henry. Well, thank you very much, Gina. Thank you for jumping in.
Hope I was all right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope you continue to enjoy the event. Thank you very much for being here and putting it all on. It's great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lovely stuff indeed. There's an off there for the number 15 machine of Pixel Toys, and as you see, you can't just plant your foot on the grass and continue on in a straight line, unfortunately. The number 2 machine makes it back out onto the circuit from the pit lane. Kart number 2 is the CG Hero team, down in 18th place at the moment, but it's a quali A and B, 1 and 2 at this moment in time. There's a lap between them as well, though, so still plenty of time to be made up by the team and the drivers in second position. As you see, though, there is also a difference between second and third of a lap as well. Here is the number 32 kart coming in. That is the Electric Square B team. And yeah, again, apologies to Henry before for not remembering your name, Sunshine. I'm really, really sorry, from the Electric Square squad. But thank you very much for your massive generosity for donating £100 towards this great cause. We are now on £715, the latest donation by Lou at Frontier coming in. Chris at D3T also did as well. And we've had Chris Wood's sunglasses giving £20 to this great cause. Whoa, look at that move through the middle there. Very, very brave stuff. That was the number 5 machine of Curve. And, well, I mean, they got a black flag earlier on for similar shenanigans. If that would have gone wrong, it would have probably been another one. There's a driver running down the pit lane in a tie-dye black shirt. That can only mean that the D3T team will be doing a driver change in just a moment. We've got another one going on here for kart number 24. Which is the Grandad Digital team. They had a black flag earlier on, so they've had to do another lap to come back round, and then, of course, take their pit stop after that and do the driver change from there. But as mentioned when Gina was just on air a moment ago, it's unbelievable that we've nearly done 90 minutes of this race already. I've covered a couple of karting endurance events before, and I tell you what, it certainly felt like, not that we've had to drag it out or anything, but certainly felt like there was more time to go and do interviews and walk around the paddock and have a chat with people, but it's flown by here, and it's still all to play for. 30 minutes left to go in this race. Driver change completed there for another team, and the pit lane has been a very, very busy place to be over the course of this race. And it was the number 28 car of Tanglewood that's just made their way back out. There's a big thumbs up there from the driver behind the wheel of the Great Ape machine, which is currently in 24th place, kart number 19. There on our screens is number 11, Frontier Development in Kelly Green, making their way around the first couple of corners of the lap. There's a few drivers that have been getting out of the karts and walking back in, and I can tell you that they're certainly looking a lot hotter and sweatier now than they would have been earlier on in the race. It seems like the rain has left off now and it's dried out. It's actually getting warm out there by the look of it. The sun is coming out here at Whilton Mill. So very different conditions to when the race started earlier on. It was drizzling in the opening stages, and then it dried out for a bit. We had some fantastic fast lap times coming in, and since then it's drizzled again since, and was a massive challenge for the drivers once more as it loosened up the surface, and now it's drying out and getting quicker and quicker. You can even see it from the pit lane itself, actually. We've had another anonymous donation come in of £10. Thank you very much. That takes us to 725. We're nearly 3/4 of the way towards hitting our £1,000 goal. It'd be great to see that done in the final half hour here, because we are just over 3/4 of the way through the race. So there's almost a relative theme there. We'll have to see whether we can get that completed, shall we? Now the driver of the number 1 machine jumping in the Red Bull overalls, maybe as quick as Sebastian Vettel was when he used to wear the number 1 for Red Bull. There's a kart around there down at the hairpin. That is, I believe, maybe kart 30. No, it was not 37, because there isn't a kart 37 out there. There's kart 13. Unlucky for some, but clearly not the Furious B team as they go buzzing out of the pit lane, followed by kart number 19. And you can see there, 28.5 minutes left to go. That was Great Ape that we're going through, so clearly that big thumbs up that we saw down the start-finish straight earlier was to acknowledge the potential pit stop that was coming around the corner for them. But the field continuing to fill the circuit from all angles, and now we're into this final half hour. That's going to be when a lot of the final driver changes take place. And we've had another donation from George at Hutch, has given another £10 in to take us up to £735. We're getting closer and closer to that goal. Thank you everybody that's donated so far. You can do so on the live stream if you haven't already by scanning the QR code in the top right of your screen, and that'll take you to Tiltify. If you didn't want to scan said QR code and you just wanted to type it in yourselves, you just go to Tiltify, just Google it or go to tiltify.com. Look for GamesAid 2023 and you'll be able to find it there and donate. All it does is take a minute of your time to fill in your details, and then you'll be easily able to donate from there. Fastest lap of the race still showing us being owned by B Different A, but unfortunately I think the real fastest lap is a 59.242 by Curve. No other team, actually apologies, one other team, Space Ape, has managed to go under 1 minute in this race so far. The first sub-minute time came through by Space Ape. I think that was on lap 26. We've had another contact warning come up on our screen now for CG Hero in kart number 2, so maybe in making their way through some lap traffic there's just been a little bit of argy-bargy here and there. It looks like we've got a kart being pushed off the circuit from the infield. I think it's maybe just a kart that was... There was one track side earlier on, actually, at the start of the race. I think was when the issues arose before the race even got underway. And it was replaced for whichever team had said issue at the time. So still Quali A and B, 1 and 2 at the moment. As, oh dearie me, there's big contact down the start-finish straight, and well, the gentleman's got his hand up in the air, but at the end of the day, he drove around the outside of somebody and then almost drove across the front of them. That was the Quali B driver. Gets back underway though and back up to full pelt. There's somebody else off the road there at the side and making their way back on. I think that may have been the Trailer Farm team, actually, kart number 10. So still spins and moments going on here. We've had a fantastic £50 donation come in, an anonymous £50, and then Helen at Frontier has also donated £10 as well. So now we are over that £750 goal and some. We've now hit £795 donated, just over £200 off our goal of 1,000 before this race completes, everybody. Thank you so much for your generous donations so far. Let's continue that momentum, shall we? There's a bit of a sort of hand in the air then, as if to say what, from the sumo team. And understandably so, at the end of the day, he was down the inside of somebody and they decided to turn into the rear quarter and see how sturdy it was on that kart. So it's certainly getting a little bit more heated up here, a bit more competitive as drivers head towards the end of the race. But we remember that there is a big spread of the pace in this field and experience with driving these karts. Quali A race leader into the pits, according to our timing tower on the left. They're going to be making what I imagine is their final driver swap for the race. They're almost 3 wide down the start-finish straight here in towards turn 1. And again, it's all about just making sure you leave space and you're nice and careful. Big push around the outside there. I think that was the number 3 car, was it, that was making moves. Lucid A pushing around the outside. We've had apparently a fastest lap by B different A again. 14 seconds. Fantastic time, that is. Almost 45 seconds quicker than anybody else. They seem to be dropping down the order, though, do the number 31 machine, actually. I'm not quite sure what's happened there. Maybe the laps earlier on. Okay, I think the laps themselves have been reset now on the timing. I think B different A had jumped way up the order, as around there, facing the wrong way, is the number 4 machine from Hutch. After either a spin or a bit of contact, looks like the car is in no man's land at the moment. Not sure if the kart has had some sort of failure, because it seemed to be on the circuit, or at least on one of the cut-throughs for the circuit. We had another donation come in by Lynn at Curve Games. Thank you very much, Lynn. Puts another £20 in the pot. We've now hit £800. We're up to 815. So we are into the final 20% of that goal before the race finishes. Thank you, everybody, so much so far. And let's continue. Quali A and B still leading the race. Curve still in third. Then it's Pixel Toys, Furious B, Frontier, D3T, Sumo, Shark Mob, and B different A in 10th position. Fastest lap of the race has now been reinstated to be held by Curve in kart number 5, which is the 59.242 lap time. That was done on lap 80. Well, no, it wasn't done on lap 83, because that one just was 59.158 by Curve. So continued fantastic pace from the driver of that number 5 machine. Another donation coming in. TF Rules putting in £20 for the charities. Thank you very much indeed. You can see now a big nod there for CG Hero and the number 2 box board. Wonderful stuff indeed. It's just a great atmosphere, isn't it, this whole event, even when you look outside and just look down the pit wall. Even if the teams are getting competitive, they're all still in very high spirits with what's going on around them and enjoying the event overall. There's the number 8 machine now, which I believe has been taken over by Hutch. It has, so kart number 4 has been retired from the race by the look of it. So the number 8 machine is now taken over. Seems like a bit of movement in the middle of the pack there, as there's another overtake, some lapped traffic dealt with. And again, it's just that communication between the drivers out there on the circuit, knowing who is where. A bit of a thumbs up, as if to say thank you very much, you've let me through. And I'm delighted to say, everybody, I want a big cheer from the pit wall on this. We have hit our £1,000 donation goal for the event. We've just had Gear Up Racing Team donate £200 to the cause. Fantastic stuff. Thank you very much indeed. We have exceeded £1,000. Another £51 coming in from Rob at Furious Sumo. Albert's just given £100 in. We've hit 1186 very, very suddenly indeed. A massive amount coming in, and we have exceeded our £1,000 goal. Lovely, lovely stuff. Adam from Tanglewood joins me in the box. How are you, Sunshine? You certainly look like you've had a busy day.
Oh, yeah. I had a really tough stint in the rain, so, yeah. I mean, I love coming to these events. They're always so well planned out, and they run really well. And I mean, I really enjoy karting myself. So yeah, it's great that we do this sort of thing. So
yeah, it's all for a good cause, but massive enjoyment for drivers and teams involved. It's getting quite feisty out there though in the later stages.
Yeah, it's now the track's dried out. We can see in the 59 second times, I guess, which is nice to see for quali. But haven't seen a spinner in a while. So
with it being drier, it's definitely a different kettle of fish, because as soon as it was just the slightest bit greasy before, it looked almost chaotic. It was that easy to spin, wasn't it?
Yeah. I gained a few positions, I think, from the wet, just pumping the brakes into the turns and just getting that like straight line into them. But it's definitely looking better out there now.
Yeah, I was saying to a couple of the wonderful people I've interviewed over the course of the race that it's not just about being on the throttle, there's a bit of a disagreement there from two drivers, but it's not all about being on the throttle and being smooth there, because you have to really be careful on the brakes in a kart as well, don't you? Because you don't often slam on them, do you, in a kart?
No, definitely need to in the wet, but well, not slam them, but need to use them. But obviously, some tracks are way better for just flat out everywhere, but this is certainly not one of those tracks. It's very hard.
And it's hard on the karts as well, by the look of it, as another kart being worked on there. That was a number 4 machine, actually, that was having issues before when Hutch were driving it. It's been interesting to see, though, that the weather has sort of shaken up the... I mean, it's not that it was an expected result at all, but I think some of the teams were sort of expecting to be up there and have had a much tougher time of it because of the conditions.
Oh, yeah, that'll happen. Obviously, I think everybody here expected quali to do well, and yet again, there they are. Right at the top.
Yeah, they're certainly flying, which is great. But even in the mid-pack, there's wonderful competition between all drivers. Everybody's pushing so hard, and it's difficult. I mean, I don't want to make it my theme of commentary, but I sort of have over the course of the day. But these sorts of moments now, as drivers, when you can't see who's behind you, as the driver behind, you have to be so careful about the driver in front, don't you? Because with moments like that,
that slight bump could take you into the tyres there or off the track, and then that's a couple of laps lost.
And when you're in the mid pack, you guys have been in constant fights all throughout this race. Do you have that worry in the back of your mind that somebody is right behind you and ready to send it?
Oh, all the time. Yeah, you have to keep your eyes on, in the back of your head, really. Yeah, and then there's always the thing with, do I brake yet? And then you end up either spinning or something. But it's definitely tough when you know there's fast karts behind you.
Yeah, absolutely, and knowing as well that it's not just an individual performance, but performing as a team and as part of a squad. You feel, is there a bit more pressure in that regard because you've got other drivers involved?
Definitely, yeah. There's a lot of scheming and stuff going on between the teams. I think, trying to get the best out of the pit times and stuff like that. But it's all a bit of fun at the end of the day, and it's great. It's great for GamesAid.
Absolutely, and it's all for a fantastic cause. We've smashed the £1,000 goal now as well. We've gone over £1,200 donated, and so much of that came in just the last few minutes as well to make sure we got there. Still 17 and a half minutes to go. Are you back in the kart now, or is that you done for today?
That's me done for the day. Yeah, we've got Rodrigo out there right now, our star driver.
Yeah.
Seems to be getting stuck out there in 13th, but I'm sure he'll get
the 34's back around, back on again. The rejoins have been getting better and better as well. I think everybody realises now the best place to sort of try and get back up to speed.
Yeah, the worst one is when you spin out and you're backwards on the grass and you've got to sort of bump yourself off. That's frustrating, but I've got a bit of fight in there.
Yeah, indeed. That's Hutch side by side with it. Is that the number 10 that they were with? No, it's number 15, which is Pixel Toys. And I was saying that nobody wants to go over those curbs earlier on because it's horrifically bumpy, but they almost had to pay to get back in.
Yeah, I was on there a few times in the rain. It's not fun. It does hurt your back a bit.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I can absolutely imagine. It's a very raw form of motorsport, isn't it, karting? Because you feel every bump, and because the machines are so small, those bumps are exaggerated massively.
Yeah, well, I even I bought a special rib protector just for.
Was it your rib protector we were taking the mick out of?
That was me.
Yeah, sorry. It's come full circle now.
Yeah, I bought it especially for this because I kart fairly often, and sometimes you get left out with those liners in the seats, and if you don't have one of those and you're skinny frame like me, you come out rough. It hurts the next day.
Yeah, indeed. I've over the last few years and through COVID, I've put on a bit more, let's call it padding. And I've hoped that it would make any sort of karting like this a little bit more comfortable for me, but it's not worked, I'm afraid. So
it's still rough.
Yeah, it's great to see that everyone's enjoying it, though. I mean, there's been such a positive vibe and a great reception from it, because one of the key things with this whole field is there's a very big spread of experience, isn't there?
Yeah, there's definitely a big spread of experience. especially now we have the heats with the north and south heats to get here. It's almost like the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
So everyone out there is really good. So it's even tougher than last year. I remember there being an even wider array of sort of skill levels all over the grid last year. But obviously, I mean, it's still the same. I mean, look at that. We've got 11 laps at the bottom. There's a split at almost every place you go. There's 1 lap difference. That's a big difference in skill levels, really.
Yeah, for sure. But even then, when people are on the same lap now, they're still edging away and sort of chipping into the gaps, aren't they?
Yeah, it's all about those tenths.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Everything matters.
I mean, look at that move around the outside there. Is that the number 15 that is flying on? It really is, yeah. I mean, oh, God, again, he's got to pay to get back in. But that number 15 machine is certainly flying at the moment and making inroads into the team ahead. That is Furious B in 4th position that they're chasing down. But with 15 minutes left, it's now crunch time, isn't it? It's a bit more difficult.
Pace is definitely picking up across the entire track now. It's definitely dried up.
Well, it's looking very, very good, and hopefully you guys have a nice clean run to the flag, unlike what we've just seen there. But again, that was
that happens when you go 4 deep there.
Yeah, I mean, the 24 for me there was on the curb. They couldn't really do much about that. They couldn't jump out of the way and disappear, and then the cart in front of them has just cut across the nose. But again, it's part of
an incident, right?
Yeah, exactly. Whether they're experienced or not, it's always something that can be easily misjudged with a little miscommunication in lap traffic. Well, thank you very much for joining me, though, mate. It's fantastic to speak to you, and I hope the team enjoy the rest of the race and it goes well.
I'm sure they will. Thank you for having me on.
Cheers. Thank you. We've had a curb warning come in for the number 29 kart, which is the D3T team, but we only have 14 minutes of this race left to go now. Thank you again, everybody, for donating and adding to this fantastic cause. Faye G has donated £10, and now we have £1,216 in the pot, and it is much appreciated. We have absolutely smashed that record and that goal that we had set. And the race has certainly been entertaining. It's been lovely to speak to a bunch of drivers along the way as well. I'm sure we'll maybe get 1 or 2 more interviews in before the flag falls a little bit later. You can see a number of the drivers now just really pushing on. The pace has increased massively in these final moments, as Adam was mentioning just there, coming in from Tanglewood. And I'm being told I'm going to be joined by Peter from D3T. Now, you, Peter, were the driver I was referencing before, saying it looks a little bit hot and sweaty out there. It looks like you've been working hard.
It was very hot and very sweaty out there. It was either open the visor and tyre bits in your eyes, or close it and be steamed up. Yeah. So either way, I couldn't see anything.
What's the circuit feeling like at this sort of late stage of the race? It's obviously a lot drier and it's a lot warmer than it was when we started.
Yes, well, it was greasy when I first went out. Not sure, there wasn't a little bit of petrol on the front wheels, but it went all right. Yeah. And it actually started to dry up, so actually now our last driver is on a perfect track, I would say. Very sticky.
Yeah, indeed. And it's not an easy track, even in the best of times, though, especially when it's drizzling. It's a massive challenge, Whilton Mill.
A massive challenge. I mean, this is my first time on the track, and it's excellent. And I managed not to spin, which I'm very happy about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these things, even in the dry, you slam on the brakes and they'll spin on their own axis very easily. It's not easy at all. There's a reason I'm a commentator, let's put it that way. I'm a terrible driver, mate. And there's a reason I get to sit here and shout all day.
Well, it's gone really well. Our first driver came out the pits and ended up backwards into the first corner, which great work. But it's gone great since then. So.
Yeah. And still embodying the positive vibe of the event, I see. It's all just good fun, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah. So I guess we've not got much longer left now, have we?
No, 11 minutes 50 seconds left of the race, which 2 hours flies by when you're having fun.
It felt like 5 minutes when I was out there. Yeah. So, but I had to peel my hands off the steering wheel when I'd finished.
Oh yeah. It's very easy to you can over grip a steering wheel, but in the karts you're not sort of holding it flat towards you. People watching the stream can't see me gesturing, but it's not sort of flat towards you. It's almost sort of tilted away from you a bit, like a truck steering wheel.
It is a little bit like a truck steering.
Gets to your wrist, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yeah, it didn't feel like a truck to drive, though, I'll be honest.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely feel every little bit in these things, don't you?
Oh, I really do. The one time I actually did kind of go over the side a little bit. It rattled my brain.
Yeah. Some of them have been rattling my brain even from here, to be fair, with how hard they're pushing. But it's great to see that everybody's enjoying themselves out there. And I mean, we've smashed our goal once again now with the £1,000 target, because we've just had a few more donations come in from Jamie and CG Hero. We've now got £1,276. And again, just a great part of it, isn't it? That, while everybody's enjoying themselves out there, we know underneath it all we're doing it for a great cause.
Well, exactly, and that's the most important thing. It's great that we've raised that amount of money, and seeing as that we're probably not going to win, it is all about the taking part.
Yeah, taking part certainly does count, mate. Well, it's fantastic to speak to you. Thank you very much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of the race.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Bye. So just over 10 minutes left to go here then at Whilton Mill, and as you've seen by the gentleman at CG Hero, he's very, very happy about the timing currently going on. He's certainly loving the event at the moment. CG Hero up there in 17th place at the moment, but the timing screen is being kind to them, as James, our cameraman, is as well. He's roaming the paddock right now and seeing who else he can point the camera at. We've had a curb warning for the number 32, Electric Square B. And you can see a bit more patience from some of the drivers in these later stages here, where they know what to expect from the traffic around them and the movement of the drivers that they're putting laps on. We've actually got 58.5 seconds coming now from the driver at the wheel of the number 5 machine from Curve. That is a rapid lap time, not just taking it down below 1 minute, but taking it all the way down to a 58-second lap time. That is solid, solid work. We've had 3 teams go sub 1 minute over the course of this race. It's Space Ape who put the first sub 1 minute lap in at a 59.902. We've had their best at the moment as a 59.7. We've had a 59.6 from our race leaders, Quali B, but 1.1 seconds quicker than anybody else's fastest lap at the moment is the driver behind the wheel of the number 5 with Curve. So Curve, you can be very, very proud of yourselves for the pace that you've had throughout this race. They're currently on for a podium position, best of the rest behind the Quali teams. Just had a cart off at the bottom of the hill there, down at the hairpin. Now, we may have smashed that goal, by the way, everybody, in terms of the donations, but it is all still for charity, so let's make sure we raise as much as we can for these wonderful causes here at GamesAid 2023 in their karting final here at Whilton Mill. Thanks again to EA Sports, Great Ape Games and Tanglewood Games as well. You'll see their logos cycling through on the right-hand side of your screen. Fantastic support for this event is very much appreciated. You'll see all their logos on the great T-shirts that all of our teams wear as well. All the teams have been identified today via those colours on those shirts. And of course they have their own kart numbers as well. And some great battles going on here. I believe that's the Hutch machine, actually, kart number 8, battling away with the Shark Mob team. It's not the Shark Mob team, actually. It is D3T that they are racing with at the moment. And that is actually completely different parts of the race for them, though, because Hutch are down in 12th place and D3T are currently in 6th position. It's the 29 kart, sorry, not the 28 kart, as I previously misidentified. As into the pits comes kart 19, or back out of the pits comes kart 19, I should say. That is the Great Ape team in 24th position, just waiting patiently for a number of them to go by before they head back out onto the circuit. I can't believe we're only 7 minutes away from the finish of this race. It's looking like it's not going to be much of a contest at the front for who's going to win this. It's going to begin with Quali, whether it's A or B, but still they've done a mega, mega job at the moment in this race to be so consistently up at the front of the order. We've got people enjoying this event from all angles here at Whilton Mill today. There's so many people here to enjoy this and watch the racing and support their own teams as well, their own companies and organisations. Lynn Moody has given us another £10 donation as well. The raised amount now £1,286. There is the Great Ape team off at the side of the road, but returning back onto the course very quickly. You can see just how twisty the middle section of the circuit is. See the change of direction there in the latter stages of the lap as well. Oh, so important. I'm joined for another interview, and I'm so, so glad that one of the Great Ape drivers, Nick, has joined me. Nick, welcome to the booth. These tie-dye shirts are certainly wonderful, very easy to spot.
The team picked the right colour for sure, yeah.
How are you enjoying the event so far today, mate? It looks like a blast.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You know, we first time doing this actually, and yeah, it's a good experience, good fun. You know, just obviously for the charity as well, and yeah, just having a great time. Yeah,
it's a great way to get everybody together in an environment like motorsport, isn't it? With karting, it's just
exactly,
it's sometimes a bit of a niche thing in a strange way, but it's just a lot of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit of competitiveness isn't going to harm anyone, but generally speaking, yeah, like the team, we've had a blast, and yeah, we've come from all corners of the UK just to get here today, and just have a blast, really. As simple as that.
It's great to see the mega support from Great Ape Games for GamesAid as well. It's obviously just a beautiful thing to be a part of, isn't it, as an organisation?
Yeah, we're based in Brighton, so we really do care about this stuff, and yeah, we just felt like it was a no-brainer really for us to contribute to this sort of charity. It's hard to know, where to direct that money sometimes, or there's so many charities out there, but yeah, obviously GamesAid is a big one, and we all know about it, and yeah, just our little way of helping out really, and helping other people, to be honest.
Well, it's certainly a fantastic way of doing it, and like I was saying before to some of the wonderful interviewees that I've had during the day, having a karting event, having it broadcasted by the fantastic people at Alpha Live, and putting on a show, while raising some money, it's just such a great way of rolling it into one. I love it.
Definitely, it's very theatrical, and having the commentary just really adds that extra layer of just atmosphere, and it feels like we're in a proper race environment, right?
Well, that's it. I mean, if it helps everybody out there feel like racing drivers for that day, that's what it's all about. Karting puts us so close to that racing experience. I've been telling everybody all day, there's a reason I'm a commentator and not a driver. I'm a terrible driver. But, to put everybody in a racing driver's shoes for the day, which is what we often do through racing games, and that side of the industry. It's brilliant to do it in such a physical way.
Exactly, and you just sometimes it's nice to get into reality, right? We're all gamers, and nothing wrong with being a gamer, but just getting physically out there, feeling the car, and it's just a slightly novel experience when we're all at our desks half the time these days, So it's a good reminder of some fun, physical fun outdoors,
this is the real thing that a lot of the games are based on, and getting to experience it firsthand. And I do a lot of sim racing. My commentary career started in esports, the likes of iRacing. And now, for some reason, that people think it's all right to pay me to do this. It's just ridiculous. But physically feeling the car, feeling the forces, that's not something you can get at home in your simulator rig. That's not something that you can pretend either. You get it a little bit through some of your wheels and so on, but to do it really, feel the G-forces, feel the forces of having to hop the car back onto the circuit, as some of the drivers have had to do here. It really is a sensation for the senses doing something like this, because you then appreciate what goes into the racing, don't you?
Yeah, exactly, and it's all about stamina as well, right? I mean, I'm sweating, my arms are aching, but it feels like you had a good workout. It's a good hard graft. Even though it was a lot of fun, it's still hard work. So yeah,
definitely is. What's I've been meaning to ask the teams, and I keep forgetting. What have the pit stops been like today? Because that's an element that not everybody has to deal with, even when you go like rental karting or something.
Yeah, no, I think it adds a little bit of like complexity or strategy, and obviously there's different teams taking it slightly more seriously than others, I'm sure. But yeah, for us, we're just trying to make sure everyone gets their fair share of racing, and who cares? I think we are last at the moment. Who cares?
Well, that's it. You've got to look at it with the positive vibe. We've raised nearly £1,300 now, thanks to the latest donation from Ben, and it's just awesome. Really, really is awesome, and it's achieved so much already, and everyone's out there with a smile on their faces.
Yeah, exactly. It's all good fun, really, and I mean, we'll be back again for sure next year, and who knows, we're trying to, obviously we're like a remote studio, there's lots of people in different parts of the world, but for those that are in the UK, this is a nice little, extra to do or try and do each year. So yeah, definitely loving it. Good fun.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Well, we've got just over 2 minutes left of the race now,
so
not long. We'll have our fingers crossed for you guys for the remainder.
Unless everyone crashes for like 20 minutes, no chance.
Well, it's great to see
who wins actually. Well, I think it's kind of obvious, I suppose. But quite close, 2-3 laps in it. So yeah, never know.
You never know. This is motorsport, as the once late great Murray Walker once said. Everything can happen in Formula One and in motorsport, and it so often will.
Well, I thought the rain was kind of interesting earlier today, or mid-race. That really messed up a lot of people's pace and grooves, so that was kind of fun to watch everyone spinning out a bit.
Yeah.
Resetting that field a little bit. It's good fun to watch. So yeah.
It really has been. Well, thank you very much for joining me, mate.
No worries.
And
thank
you again.
Pleasure.
It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Great commentary as well.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Take care, mate. Cheers.
So a minute and a half left then here at the GamesAid 2023 karting final. As you see there on our gantry, 1 minute and 20 seconds left by the time I've finished spouting the numbers. Quali A leading the way, kart 23. Kart 20 in second place, that's Quali B. And then in third position, the holders of the fastest lap at the moment, kart number 5 is Team Curve. Then we have Furious B up there in fourth place, kart number 13. Another fastest lap coming in from Curve, actually, a 58.525. That is savage lap times. Pixel Toys in fifth position, D3T in sixth place in kart 29. And then we have Sumo in kart 16. They've certainly made their way up since I spoke to Chris earlier on. As well, was a big moment there. And that was the number 20 machine, I believe. No, 23, apologies. That was our race leader, pushing a little bit too hard for their own good there. Through the middle part of the circuit, rejoining onto the racing line with a bit of contact to go with it. But seemingly no other dramas there as the driver continues on. Completing the top 10, we have B Different A, I should say, which is kart 31. Frontier, kart number 11, and Space Ape, kart number 1. So, Quali B, 1 lap down on the race leaders, but in second position. About to start what will be their penultimate lap. I believe that Quali A are now crossing the line. They have, and this is going to be the final lap of the race for Quali A. So the timer is just about to hit 0 now, and everybody, I'm sure, will assemble on the pit wall to welcome home the race winners. I'm going to get this right, it's ecru. It's not quite white, it's ecru, apparently the colour, so it's been put in the wash with other colours, as you can see. In the black helmet, kart number 23, just making their way through the middle sector at the moment, into the hairpin at the bottom of the circuit. And what a fantastic drive this has been from the entire Quali team. They've been so solid at the front of the order all the way through. Nobody has been able to quite match them. There was a big challenge from Pixel Toys in the early stages, but they just weren't able to stick with them all the way through. A lot of teams have tried strategies and all sorts to get with them, but it's not worked this time round. But from everybody that's out there on the pit wall, everybody watching wherever you may be around the world watching the live stream, I'd like you to put your hands together for your race winners. Number 23, Quali A, take the checkered flag and win here at Whilton Mill in the 2023 running of the GamesAid Karting Final. And second place goes the way of Quali B, but they're nearly an entire lap down. We'll have to wait and see where Curve make it across the line for third place. I believe they've just gone through as of right now. But I'll have to wait and see. Actually, no, I think they're only about 4 seconds behind the second place finishers. They should be coming around the final couple of corners now. I think Quali B just about to come through our shot in what is being designated as faded denim. I think the Hutch team just crossing the line there as well. And we wait to see this both hands in the air from one of our drivers as they cross the line there. And a fist pump and an arm in the air from, I believe, the Ripstone team as they cross the line as well. Where is our second place finisher? Quali B, number 17 crossing the line there. There is Quali B across the line, followed closely by Curve, who do take the fastest lap of the race, a 58.525 for them. That is a real solid lap time, that is, especially considering as the next fastest lap on the screen was 59.665 from Quali A. So really good stuff by Curve with that fastest lap. But your race winners, everybody, number 23, Quali A. They take the checkered flag ahead of Quali B. Then it's Curve in third place, Furious B finishing in fourth ahead of Pixel Toys in fifth. Then it's D3T in sixth position. Seventh is Sumo. B Different A is in eighth ahead of Frontier in ninth place, and Space Ape complete the top 10. Then we have kart number 8 of Team Hutch in 11th ahead of Shark Mob, kart number 18 in 12th. Tanglewood finishing 13th with Red Kite in 14th place. Then it's Lucid B in 15th, CG Hero 16th, and 17th place was Trailer Farm. Then it's Electric Square A in 18th place ahead of Lucid, kart number 3 in 19th place. Then it was Grandad Digital rounding out the top 20. Electric Square B finishing in 21st ahead of B Different B in 22nd. Ripstone finished 23rd, and Great Ape finishing in our 24 kart field. Everybody still running at the end. 109 laps completed by Quali A, and their fastest lap of the race of 59.665. Fastest overall time going to Curve, finishing in third place with a 58.525. By the end, we had 4 teams that went under 1 minute in terms of their lap times. Those 4 teams were Space Ape, Furious B, the aforementioned Curve, and Quali A. Now there's a bit of calm falling over the circuit as everybody makes their way towards what I believe will be some sort of podium presentation. And I will be back with you in just a sec as I switch over microphones and I'm going to head outside. And now we've stepped outside. It's actually a lot cooler out here than I thought it was going to be. It was nice and warm in there, actually, and I thought it was going to be quite muggy out here, but it's definitely not. But yeah, a fantastic win for Quali A. A 1-2 as well for the Quali teams. Quali B finishing in second position, and it's certainly a great, great buzz around us here. There's a lot of people behind James, our cameraman, who he's going to walk into. There's a lot of people here, everyone all discussing how the race went on. This is one of the best bits when you're a driver and you've competed in an event like this, even when it be like a sort of 10-lap race or something, you can have a chat with all of your mates and all of your fellow competitors and get an idea of how the race went for all of them as well. There's so much of a buzz around here in the paddock at the moment. It really is a wonderful, wonderful environment to be a part of. There's so many great people here that have just enjoyed the event, so many smiles as well. I believe they are going to do some sort of trophy presentation in a few minutes' time. We'll try and capture that for you as well if they get around to that quickly enough. Obviously the top three teams in reverse order being Curve, Quali B and Quali A. That fastest lap though by the Curve team is absolutely belting, a 58.525. They were over 1.4 seconds quicker than any other team went on there. Really, really impressive. Unfortunately though, what really changed the race for them was the fact that they got a couple of penalties partway through. There was a few black flags in the later stages for them, but it's all about pushing through a pack like this. And as we've had a discussion on so many times throughout today, there is a big, big spread in the pace, and so much of them have just had to deal with the traffic coming through. Our race winners.
Cheers, mate.
Quali A, you must be over the moon.
Delighted, yeah, absolutely.
Were you expecting that? I mean, a few of the other teams seem to expect that you guys were going to win this.
Well, we won it last year, so we wanted to, you know, defend our honour and try and do it again. Yeah, we got so happy we defended it well.
What was it like with the challenging conditions in the opening stages? Because we knew it was all going to drizzle for a little bit, but it looked a lot more tricky than people expected. It seemed to catch a lot of people out in the opening laps.
We actually changed our driver order to send out our more comfortable wet drivers during that time. So, yeah, it worked out.
Obviously, after that though, it dried out for a little bit, and everyone thought, "Oh, rain's gone, it's all right." And then it got wetter. That was probably the worst bit, wasn't it?
That was tricky. Yeah. It was very slidey out there, so just trying to keep it on the track was quite tricky. Yeah.
Were you keeping an eye on lap times and everything throughout the race? Was it that competitive, or were you just sort of thinking, we're in the lead, that'll do, we'll be all right?
No, we were worrying. We're here to win. It's not a charity.
Well, you certainly made it look good out there, guys, and it was obviously a very, very solid race for you. You certainly enjoyed yourselves. What did you make of it?
It was good fun. My arms hurt now. I've got cramp in my arms.
Well, these things, I mean, you know, we know that they're not the fastest karts in the world. They're very, very quick, though, and they feel a lot faster when you're in them to how they look. They certainly are very physical machines still, aren't they, on a track like this, on a big circuit?
Absolutely. I was knackered. We've been practicing. I'm not going to lie. We've been practicing, so my arms are just need a break.
Well, it was a fantastic performance either way, guys. Very, very well done. Same again next year?
Absolutely, yeah. Three teams.
We'll lock out the podium next year, I think.
Yeah. It's a lot of confidence from the Quali A team, isn't it? Absolutely. Well done, gents. Fantastic stuff. Thank you very much. Big, big confidence, that. Absolutely big, big confidence from them. We're going to speak to the team that finished the race in third position, Team Curve. You had... I mean, I feel bad because a lot of the time I said you had curveballs thrown at you. I was trying to get as many puns in as I could. You certainly looked like you enjoyed it, though. Smiles on your faces.
Yeah,
went
absolutely.
Well?
Yeah, pretty well. I think we'd have, if you said you'd get third again, would have taken that at the beginning of the day.
Yeah. There was a few, I mean, I said literal curveballs, but there was a few black flags and other bits going on. There was a lot of interruptions to your race. You know, the opening stint as well seemed very difficult with the slippery conditions. What was the sort of recuperation like? A broken cart, you say?
Switch cars.
Well, the first lap was disastrous, but Rich redeemed himself over the next stint.
I came back from last to first, then the cart broke, lost the sprocket, just disintegrated, ran in, got another cart, went back out, all good. It was great. So I said it'd be carnage at the start. It was, but it was beautiful carnage. Yeah.
Beautiful carnage, a great way to describe the race. What did you make of the wet conditions? Because it was a big challenge, wasn't it, in the slippery weather?
Very slippy. I got stuck on the grass, and yeah, the rain makes it difficult, but then everyone's in the same position, so yeah.
Very true indeed. Same again next year then? Oh? Yes, so that was you, 58.5. That's a savage lap time. What was the secret to unlocking that, do you reckon?
Just pure rage.
It's not competitive, is it? It's not competitive at all. We're all here for a good time, aren't we? Eh? But it's been a great event, though, hasn't it? You know, the whole vibe's been wonderful, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, seeing a load of the old competitors from last year here, saying hello to them, hanging out with them during the race. You know, not quite wishing them well, but certainly hoping that that they finish.
Yeah, and congratulations to Quali. They're a really nice bunch. They deserve it. They're like super consistent. So they get to keep the cup. Fair enough next year.
Well, I was going to say, you know, the fact that you know some of the teams from last year, you know who might be taking it seriously, who might just be here for a bit of a laugh. Does that change how you drive around them all or anything?
Yeah, you kind of sort of wave and, like, you know, put your thumbs up at your mates and stuff. But it's really good-natured. Like, it's pretty much all good-natured. That's great.
Well, it's been fantastic to watch. Very well done, guys, and well done on that fastest lap as well. That was wonderful. We've just heard, bear with, there's going to be a photo, apparently. So I'm going to see whether I can get in on this, see whether I can be on the grid. We're going to get James, our cameraman, on there as well. Ryan, I want your high vis on this grid as well, Sunshine, because then they'll think there was some one-manned orange team that was in the middle of the grid that was part of this race. But this is the thing, you know, everyone's brought together in an event like this. It's all for charity. We've raised over that £1,000 goal. Thank you to everybody that has donated so far. You can still donate now while the stream is still going on as well. If you just go to Tiltify and look for GamesAid 2023, you'll be able to fill in your details with just a minute or so, and you'll be able to donate on there. It would be fantastic if you could be a part of that. We're going to get within this picture, though. Me and James, the cameraman, are going to stand here without walking into everybody. But all the coloured shirts are still out as well. Everyone's still repping their team wear. We're going to get everyone together where we can. I'm going to jump in with these guys here. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello. Snuggle in.
James has lost me. James is going to make his way up to the balcony, actually, to get the best view of this right now.
He's a good lad, is James.
He's a good lad, is James?
Yeah, he's a good lad. Yeah.
You just say he was slow on the stairs. James isn't setting purple sectors up the stairs, apparently. That's not good enough. So, unfortunate, James. You guys all enjoyed yourselves, though?
Yeah, did good. Good result.
Good stuff. That's what it's all about. And James is telling us that we need to try and do a Mexican wave for when they do this picture. Are we all up for a Mexican wave, everybody?
There's no way.
No?
Here.
There's no way? Well, there you go. A one-man Mexican wave. He's absolutely smashed it.
Oh.
Well, when this mic's away from my mouth, I'm going to shout it out and we'll get everybody. Well, I'll go down to the front in a second. We'll try and organise it. Oh, they're getting serious threats here if they don't put the T-shirts on. That's not good. They should all have it on. Right, are we gonna get a Mexican wave on the go as well? There was a resounding no from some of the members over here on this side. They're not happy with the idea of a Mexican wave. Yeah, that's very true, actually. Your arms will ache after a race like this, so that's not quite a possibility. We'll go for a Mexican wave from this side, shall we? Yeah? Stuff the picture. Let's do a Mexican wave. It's more fun. Starting over here. Go on, crack on. Let's get going way all the way down the middle to the right. Lovely. Thank you very much. Cracking stuff. Absolutely cracking. I'm going to try and find my way up to go up with James up there. Thank you, everyone. Much appreciated. Lovely job. Lovely, lovely job. And that's just one of the many little things that it's all just so much fun to be a part of. Such a great group of people all here for a wonderful cause. That's what it's all about. We're going to do the trophies in a second, I'm told, so I've made my way up the stairs for no reason, so we're going to go back down the stairs now. That's all right, Gina, it's not your fault. It keeps me fit. At the end of the day, I come from a gaming background, as you've heard me explain today. I started my commentary career in sim racing, so I too was sat at a desk for 8 hours a day doing nothing, and now I've got to come and do this. And because James loves his roaming camera, I've got to walk around with him all day and pretend that I like walking. But we're going to get a podium on the go over here in just a moment. So we're going to sort of make our way over this way. And we're going to stand to one side while they do that procedure. Procedure? That's not medical, is it? It's not medical procedure. It's been a long day, everybody. It's been a long day, but it's still been a very enjoyable day. We really hope you've been enjoying the stream and, of course, the coverage of the event as well. Thank you to the wonderful Alpha Live for what they've been doing for this event as well. And thank you all of you that have been donating. Honestly, we cannot tell you enough how important those donations have been. They go to some fantastic causes, and you have done yourselves proud with hitting that £1,000 goal over the course of the race and over the course of the day. That's the soggiest certificate I think I've ever seen. It's not a certificate? Oh, it's a promotion. I do apologise. Sorry. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, it's been lovely. Everyone.
Do you think we got a deserving winner? Because, I mean, they smashed it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Second year. Yeah, they did do it. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see. Sorry, I was focusing on Ryan was making hand signals there. Ryan behind the camera, bless him. He's trying to tell me what to do. I've got no idea what his hand signals mean anymore. He's just a man in a high-vis vest that follows James around that screams his arms in the air. I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry. Okay, so what we're going to do, everybody, is we're going to wrap things up because we've now got to do, obviously, the podium over here. And that's going to be that, I'm afraid. Well, thank you very much for joining us over the course of today's live stream. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always, to have you. Thank you to Alpha Live. Thank you to all the fantastic companies behind all of this as well for GamesAid 2023 here at Whilton Mill. Hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.